Kyro early? Kyro early? Kyro early? Can we get a command early in the chat? Because we're starting before that timer even hits 0, my boy. You know what the deal is. We can be real here in Kyronia on the KyroCast show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the NFL KyroCast. I am your host, KyroCast. Holy frick, I don't have Rambo's face cam on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. There he is. My co-host, Czar Nasty.
Let's go, baby. Dude. Wow. Dude, you're rocking the retro jersey?
Rocking the retro jersey for Thanksgiving week and the
man.
mid-season special, baby. Y'all know what the deal is. Wrong one. Oh my gosh, has it been a minute? It has been a minute, dude. It has been essentially a month since the last real KyroCast. Now, 2 weeks ago, we did try to have a KyroCast, and we had technical difficulties, and it crapped out. I didn't even save the stream, so that episode 8 is the lost episode of the NFL KyroCast. It basically doesn't exist. It was like an hour and a half stream, and like at least 50% of that was the starting soon screen, and then us having technical difficulties and me just sitting on my butt farting around doing absolutely nothing. But we are back. Why were we gone for so long? We'll get to that in a minute. We'll go over everything. We have got so many things on the menu tonight. You're going to be stuffed with that amazing content, which is fitting for Thanksgiving week. Okay, but before we get started with all that, there is something I feel like we do need to talk about because it's kind of important. So I know we don't normally like get political and stuff on the show, but there is something I do feel like we need to talk about. The president of Russia, I don't know if it's president. I can't ever remember his name.
Vladimir Putin.
Putting this dick in your mouth. Hey! Let's go! Get got! Eat him up! I want to see W's in chat. Let's go, baby! That's how you start a show.
Yeah, all 2 viewers put W's
Hey,
in chat.
That's
2
the
viewers
first.
put W's in chat.
That's the
2
first
viewers.
of a million W's I'm taking tonight. And that's the first of a million L's Rambo's taking tonight. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
You
That's
can't
how
give
you start a
W
show.
to yourself.
That's how you start a show.
Can't
Let's
give a
go,
W to
baby.
yourself.
Got him. Got him. That's what I'm talking about. Lance with the W. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we bring that KyroCast back. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's go. That's how you start a show. The comeback is here. The comebacks happen. NFL KyroCast back in full swing. Back in full swing.
Oh, it's in full swing.
The world has returned to normalcy. Rambo taking fat L's. KyroCast taking fat W's. All is right. NFL KyroCast live on a Tuesday night. All is right with the world. All right, let's get into, before we get into all the football, because it's going to be a massive, just meaty, girthy chunk of content tonight. Let's just clear some stuff out of the agenda. So, where have we been? I feel like my camera's a little low. That feels better. Yeah. So, why has it been essentially a month without a KyroCast episode? Well, a lot of you viewers already know from either knowing me in person or following me on my social medias, or I might have mentioned it on like one of the Spider-Man streams or something. I had some very big life stuff happen in the past month. So, initially, we took 2 weeks off the KyroCast because I was busy on Tuesday nights, which is when we do the show, preparing for my proposal to my then girlfriend, now fiance. So that was super exciting. So two Tuesdays came and went where I was preparing for it. Rambo, you know this. You don't gotta pretend to be shocked. Then the third Tuesday, we were supposed to come back. And I believe that is when we had the technical difficulties. And then
I don't know. I try to forget everything about that evening, so I'm not gonna know the exact day.
yeah, I think that was that week though. And then and then last week, Rambo Tuesday wasn't really working for him, so we didn't do Tuesday. And then we were gonna do Wednesday, and then I was not feeling great Wednesday night, so we didn't do it last week. But we're back now, and I'm glad we've waited till now because now the timing just feels perfect for the mid-season special and the comeback of the NFL KyroCast. That's where I've been. Got engaged. The Queen of Kyronia is on the way. She's on the way. It's a very exciting thing. I'm super excited about it. And then, yeah, a bunch of lame-o excuses. But we're back. It's also, just a busy part of the college semester. I'm in my senior year of college. I graduate in May as long as I don't fail out, which I shouldn't. But you never know. I could drop the ball. I could drop the ball. Maybe I'll drop out to pursue YouTube and Twitch full-time. If KyroCast should do that, make sure to smash like. Let me know in the comments. And then get approximately 1 million other people to watch this video and subscribe. And follow me on Twitch. We can get 1 million people to do that. Nah, I'd consider it if I got like 100,000 subscribers on my like main YouTube channel or either YouTube channel. I might consider doing it full time. 100,000 subs. That's when I would like really think about it. Now, currently I'm sitting at 300 something on the main channel, 16 on the second channel, and then 24 on the sports channel. So we got quite the ways to go. But there's the ballpark I'm looking at. But for now, it's just a hobby. That's how it has to be. Was I going anywhere with that, or am I just kind of speaking into the wind? I'm not really vibing with my hair hat combo right now, but we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna make it work. Anything else we need to talk about before we get into all the football? Was there anything else I needed to mention?
Goodness. I can't think of anything outside of football. But there's so much football to be talked about. I'm like already in football mode, so you'd have to consult somebody else. I've been in football mode for ever since Saturday, really. Ever since Saturday, I've been in like ultra football mode, nonstop, 24/7.
I feel that
all day, every day.
All right, well, let's just get into it. What are these scene changes going to look like? We have not crashed since episode 2, week 2. So,
ooh, that's pretty good. Since episode 2? Shoot, I'll take that every day.
Yeah, episode 2 was so the problem was I was crashing a whole bunch during my streams before we started the KyroCast. And then we didn't crash the first episode. We did crash the second episode. And then I cleaned up my OBS a lot, and we haven't crashed since. So really, I think the whole crashing thing is pretty much gone on away, because since I cleared out a lot of what I had stored on OBS, it's been fine. But I still have PTSD from hitting the scene switch button and it crashing, so I get nervous and my balls shrivel up a little bit every time I press the button, so here we go.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, Rambo. Are we back?
Sorry, man.
We should be back. What are the odds, bro? Jinxed it. For real. Straight up jinxed it. What are the odds? I literally said it should be behind us. We hadn't had a crash since episode 2.
You got an ad. Hang on. Showing a pair of actually sick Oakley sunglasses.
Maybe if you were subscribed, you wouldn't have to deal with advertisements, Rambo. You ever think about that?
$5. Here we go. And guess what? We are live.
And
we're live on Twitch again. So there we go.
Live.
There you go.
All right.
Sorry about that stream. Complicated business.
Is what it is. But we're back. I need to add a...
You need to have a command sorry. Be like, sorry, chat. That wasn't supposed to happen. That way
I got you a good command.
Also, while we're getting everything, we're kind of getting back in the saddle again. Can I just talk about how terrible Trace McSorley's fourth quarter pick was last night in Mexico City? Golly, man. gave a corner from San Francisco his first career interception in the end zone with nobody within 10 yards of him. I was sad. Matter of fact, I was actually very sad because everybody talks about Trace McSorley throwing it on a dime. Like he's not even trying. And guess what? It came true. He threw it on a dime to the corner, and he wasn't trying. So, I don't know. I'll never hear the Trace McSorley song the same ever again. He's terrible. He's trash. I hate Penn State. Yeah, there you go. There's
Rambo,
my
I don't
rant
want to
on
hear
Trace
about that
McSorley.
crap. I don't want to hear about that Trace McSorley slander. He throws it on a dime like he's not even trying. He's your favorite quarterback, okay?
Wrong.
All right. Well, since we're in the business of handing out Rambo steaming hot L's, let's just get right in to reacting to the last 4 or 5 weeks, something
Good
like that,
grief.
of WGP, baby. Our weekly game predictions, weekly game picks. I never decided what the P in WGP stands for, but whichever you prefer, picks, predictions. Here we are, 11 weeks into the season, and it has been a roller coaster. I caught the dub week 1, going 7-9 to Rambo's 5-11 to go up 2 games to start the season. Then Rambo went on a hot streak, or rather, I went on a really mid streak. I mean, I was consistent. 7-9, 7-9, 6-10, 8-8, 8-8. I was as consistent as you could be. Through 5 weeks, I was exactly 500.
Consistently not good.
Okay, sure. Problem is, Rambo was doing better than that. So,
You bet your bottom dollar I was.
then I lost week 2 by 4, week 3 by 2, week 4 by 2. We kept it even the next 2 weeks. And then I decided in week 7, which was the last normal streams WGP. We did do WGP during the busted stream, but that one is gone to the wind. You can never see that. Our last normal stream, we left with 6 games on the split. Every other week, we've had 4 games on the split, except one of the weeks we didn't stream, we accidentally did 3 games on the split. Every other week, though, it's been 4, I believe. But we did 6 this one random week. And I lost all 6! What in the world is that crap, dude? I want to go to week 7.
I hyped on the Heineke hype train. Listen, it's steamrolling on through, baby. He's getting a new pair of Jordans every week because he just can't lose. So, listen. That was a good week. I think about that week regularly.
I'm sure you do. It's the biggest moment of your entire life. What happened?
I relish my success in that quite often.
Okay, we did go over this during the crap stream, but we'll go over it really quickly. Packers and Commanders, that was not a bad pick by me. At that point, the Packers should not have been expected to crap the bed that hard, but it happened. So there goes Rambo. Okay. Falcons, Bengals, I don't know why I picked Falcons. That was a bad pick. Jaguars, Giants. The Jaguars, at the time, people thought were better than they think they are now, but it was still a bad pick. So I should have started 1 and 2. Broncos, Jets. At the time, we didn't realize how good the Jets were, but it's still a bad pick because Broncos country refuses to ride, and they never will. So yeah, I probably should have been 1 and 3. Chargers, Seahawks. Not mad at that pick. Not mad at that pick. The Chargers are historically mid, so I guess it's like maybe I should have seen that coming. Steelers, Dolphins. When I made this Steelers pick, that was when Tua, I did not think was playing, and they were 0-3 without Tua. So now this pick looks ridiculous, but Tua ended up playing that game when I thought he was out, and I would not have made that pick. So, it is what it is. So, what I'm saying is, it shouldn't have been 5 games on the split. It should have been 6 games on the split. It should have been 5, and I should have gone 1 and 4 instead of 0 and 6. I got crapped on, okay? Week 7 was the worst of the worst. But what happened after week 7? How did I respond? We were, at that point, 11 games behind Rambo on WGP. This season was looking grim. We were facing more adversity than we had felt at all. We were down 5 games, I believe, going into... We were down 6 games going into week 7. And we decided to try to get... Peace out, Lance. And I decided as a team, as the KyroCast team, We were going to try to get back into the season, tie it up. In 1 week, we threw the Hail Mary, and we missed on all 6. Suddenly, we found ourselves in a hole. A big hole. Down 12 games at the end of week 7. It's only 18 weeks. Almost halfway through the year, we're behind massively. How do we respond? Well, week 8, we split the split, went even on split. Nothing changed. But then, which honestly at that point, yes, the 2 weeks before week 7, we had gone even. But I really just needed to stabilize myself a little bit after going down 6 more the previous week. Then, in week 9, for the first time since week 1, I finally won a week.
Good.
It was amazing. I went 11-2. The problem is, Rambo went 10-3. Problem is, Rambo went 10-3, so that blows. I think that was the week we only had 3 on the split. We were supposed to have 4. Rambo went 10-3.
Made up for it the next week, and it hosed me though. So, you're welcome.
That sucks. Then week 10. Woo! I didn't do it that amazing. I mean, 9-5 isn't bad. But week 10, oh baby. We won the split by 3 games, which is by far my biggest win. I mean, yeah, I've won by 2, 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, I say by far. But it was my biggest win of the year, was week 10. We won by 3. That was when I had Buccaneers over the Seahawks. We'll talk about the Buccaneers later. Oh my gosh, that week would have been immaculate if the Bears clutched. They lost by 1 point, and I would have gone 4-0 on the split. But that was when the Vikings, with that incredible comeback victory, you saw that catch in the loading screen, or in the starting soon screen. We'll talk about that game in a bit. What else? Steelers, Saints. I got that one. Cardinals, Rams. I got that one. That was, whew!
Rams sold, man.
The Rams' whole season is selling.
I know, but I thought they were going to beat the Cardinals at home. That was embarrassing.
And then, this past week, week 11, is another dub for KyroCast. I won by 2.
Why did I switch to Broncos country at the last second? Why?
What sucks is I'm having these amazing weeks. Like, why couldn't I have gone 12-2 when you went 5-11? Or like 6-8? Like, when I'm having these amazing weeks, you're doing almost as good as me. And that's part of that is we're getting into the second half of the season now where teams are a lot more predictable because we know what teams are a lot more. So, it only makes sense. But, and I'll say about that as well. The whole, like, first half of the season, we were dancing around with, like, 500. Both of us were under 500 for a bit. And then I was hanging under 500 or right at 500 for a while, and you were starting to get above. Both of us are pretty considerably above 500. Not considerably, but pretty safely above 500. I got a 54% correct rate. You got a 58, essentially. So we're right there. But over half is pretty much my goal at this point. I mean, I'd like to get up to like 60, 70, if possible. I don't know if that's even possible for the rest of the year. But it would have been bad if I was under 500. So that would have blown. But week 11, this week that just happened, Packers lost to the Titans. After the Packers upset the Cowboys in overtime, oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about that game.
That was a bad pick. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what the heck you were thinking.
With the Packers?
Yes.
They just beat the Cowboys and scored 31 points. What do you mean there's no way? What do you mean?
There's no way they're going to get 2 good wins in a row, especially on a short week.
Why? Why not? They're the Packers. He's Aaron Rodgers in the regular season. Christian Watson had just had 3 touchdowns.
They're still bad. It was a fluke win.
They beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a top 5 team in the league right now. And then they're playing the Titans, who are good. But the Titans have also had a lot of question marks. And it's Ryan Tannehill. That was not that bad of a pick. Titans was a better pick. Obviously, they won. But I had to pick my upset somewhere. And I thought the Packers, coming off that Cowboys victory, were maybe going to have some momentum. Considering they scored...
gave me a W.
They scored 17 unanswered points after the third quarter. Figured they'd take that momentum. But yeah, big ups for Traylon Burks. He played like a beast. Love to see it. Bears Falcons. We both went Bears. That's kind of surprising, actually.
Ugh.
Eagles Colts. I don't care what anyone says. This was a win for the Colts. When you got Jeff Saturday, the greatest coach of all time, I've seen enough. This man comes in here. Yes, it was the Raiders, but he came in and won his first game amidst all the controversy and chatter that he was an awful hire. And then he goes and plays the Eagles and only loses by 1 point. And the Eagles are considered by some to be the best team in the league, although now I think most people have them probably second, third, or fourth.
The Colts led for most of the game too.
Exactly.
They didn't give up the lead until very, very late in the fourth, and they just
I'm
didn't
just
have
saying,
enough time to make it up. So
if you're
props to
just
Saturday.
on the very brink of beating one of the top 3 teams in the league, all I'm going to say is someone calling you a top 6 team in the league may not be that far-fetched. You might be 4-6-1, but maybe you are the 6th best team in the league. Guess we'll find out later on in this stream when we rank all 32
For anybody
NFL
watching
teams.
this on YouTube in the future, please ignore what he just said because
Shut up.
Yeah.
I won the Patriots versus Jets. This is one of my switches. So our only split before we did overtime, and again, this wasn't streamed, was Packers-Titans. And then I had to switch 2, he had to switch 1. So I switched from Jets to Patriots and Giants to Lions, and he switched Raiders to Broncos.
Why did
that
I
was
do
epic.
That?
That
was a bad pick
clutched
by me.
in overtime. I clutched in overtime. I think, was you picking the Broncos worse than me picking the Packers? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I just thought the Raiders were going to find a way. I was like, both teams are capable of blowing it, so I took the team that was playing at home. I mean, they went to overtime, so I mean, they both tried to lose.
Yeah.
But, I mean, except for Devontae Adams, he played like the Devontae Adams of old.
Indeed.
Which I needed because I needed them fantasy dubs, baby. But I thought it just... Oh, man. I'm sad about that pick. I should have known better. I was trying to hurry and make a rush pick, so I was like, you know what?
Broncos
Give me
country.
Broncos country.
Let's ride.
And they rode in like one of those little buggies up in like Pennsylvania with the horses.
Yeah.
So
reason I switched off of Jets to the Patriots, multiple reasons actually. A, Bill Belichick absolutely owns the Jets. The Patriots own the Jets. And so that just felt good. I do not believe in Zach Wilson. Right now, he is young, unproven, sloppy, and Bill Belichick and his defensive mind and Patriots defense eats up. They always have young, sloppy quarterbacks. And so the Jets are a better team, but I believed in the Patriots coaching and their ability to shut down the Jets offense, which is exactly what happened. Granted, the Patriots won off a very late punt return, which was that's a super cool, exciting way to end a boring game.
I missed a block in the back on that punt. I watched it live and fell to my knees in despair.
Sorry about it. May not like it, but it wasn't called. So, is what it is. That's a Patriots dub and a dub for me on WGP. I finished the week 12-2. Rambo finishes 10-4. I also picked the Lions over the Giants because I think the Giants are fraudulent. They're not as good as their record shows. The Lions are a lot better than people give them credit for. And I had to switch a pick, and I decided to believe in Dan Campbell. And I have a feeling if more people start doing that, it will reap benefits in the future. He just needs a little bit more time. That's all he needs. And a quarterback. But that's it. Just a little bit of time and a quarterback. I guess that could be said of every bad team, but still. Anyway, so that puts us on the season. I am 89-75. Rambo is 95-69. Nice. I am 6 games behind on the year. And that is the current state of WGP.
That's not good enough for me. I'm a little uneasy here, if I'm going to be honest.
All right. Well, let's get to week 12. And I'm just realizing I didn't set the template for week 12, so you're going to have to give me a second to build that.
See, chat, this is why I offered to do this in week 2. And KyroCast
Shut up,
is like,
Rambo.
sorry, if you make your own table, I'm gonna kick you off the stream and never invite you back on. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
See, chat, this is why I offered. I was just wanting to put it on the table. Why? Because KyroCast doesn't make a table. So, I mean, sorry about it.
You need to chill out.
Sorry I chose to spoke. Sorry I chose to speak facts when it was, like, not very popular in week 2. I wasn't really getting many dubs at that point, but that was one. Considering that I started 5-11 the first week. So, that was sad. Why did I have to stumble right off the starting block? If that comes back to bite me at the end of the season.
How week 1 you went 5 and
I'm gonna cry some really salty tears if I lose out because I started off the block and fell and face planted and broke my nose. And had to put tissues up my nostrils because the bleeding was so bad. I'm getting a little upset. I have to just forget about it. I'm going to strain towards what is ahead. That's the goal here, chat. Going undefeated this week. I'm calling it right now, right here.
Undefeated?
Undefeated. It's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week. I'm not going to lose any picks. All of them are going to be 100% on the money.
You're not even just talking about on the split. You're talking about in general. You're not missing a pick.
In general, 100%. You know why, KyroCast? Because the people know, the community knows, the people's champ knows ball, and you can't say otherwise.
Rambo, you do not know ball. I can't say otherwise.
Oh, I know ball.
Rambo, you don't know ball.
I know ball, and I'm willing to play ball to prove that I know ball.
Rambo, you don't know ball. You just gotta wake up and smell the Kool-Aid, Rambo. You don't know ball. That's okay. The first step in starting to know ball is admitting you don't know ball.
If it's red Kool-Aid, I'm down.
Red Kool-Aid is goated. But to be fair, I can't think of a Kool-Aid that isn't goated, in all honesty. Alright, finally back. So, there's been a lot of bye weeks. I think most of the bye weeks are over. Yeah, they are, because we're back to 16 games on the week. The past several weeks have been 14, 13, 12, 15. Weird numbers of games. But now we're back to 16. Yeah. Let me get a sip of my water before we get into the thick of it. Oh, hold on, I didn't reset the percentages.
I'm just here grinding up these Kyro coins.
I hear that.
They do be hitting different.
All right.
Just quick so I can actually see the table.
Are we ready?
I'm ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Week 12 picks of the 2022-23 NFL season. Now, current state of WGP, I'm 6 games behind Czar Nasty, a.k.a. Rambo, but I've been on an upward trajectory. I fell into a hole of 12 games behind. Since then, I've grinded 6 of them back, and I plan to keep that momentum rolling as we move on to Thanksgiving week in the NFL, Week 12, Thanksgiving Day. I plan to be eating a lot of ham, turkey, mashed potatoes, and W's on Thanksgiving, starting with the Bills and Lions game. It's at Detroit, and regardless of where it's regardless of where the game is located at. It is a Thanksgiving tradition for the Lions to lose, and they're playing the Bills. And despite the Bills' weird issues at times this season, there is not a doubt in my mind that the Bills steamroll the Lions. Love Dan Campbell, love Detroit, want to see them succeed. Bills Mafia is going to be breaking tables, backs, and big felines all morning to mid-afternoon on Thanksgiving. Bills by a landslide. Ram!
Yeah, well, not only that, they're also gonna be breaking hearts because I want the Lions to win, but it's just not gonna happen. Give me Buffalo. Could be rough, may not be. If the Lions want to win, Jamal Williams has to play like he played last week. Then they'll have a shot. I don't think he's gonna repeat another 3-touchdown performance, though.
Thanksgiving afternoon to evening game. The Giants at the Dallas Cowboys in AT&T Stadium for the massive NFC East divisional battle. This game has a lot riding on it. And let's just spell out a little bit of it. The Cowboys and Giants currently have the same record and are tied for second in the division, the second in the NFC East behind the Philadelphia Eagles. But both have very good records, and both are considered very good teams. We're both 7-3. Here's the kicker. The kicker is the Giants are frauds. They are not nearly as good as their record shows. Everyone knows the NFC East has had pretty easy schedules. I mean, they were predicted to be easy before the season started, and then the Packers turned out to be one of the worst teams like ever. Yes, they beat the Cowboys, but it gave like the Commanders won. I believe the Giants beat them. So it's just like NFC East teams are getting a lot of wins, and then not to mention they're playing the Bears, the Lions, Texans, a lot of bad teams. The Giants in New York lost to the Cowboys with Cooper Rush. This is in Dallas. Dak is back. Cowboys are hot right now, coming off that 40-3 win on those piss-poor Minnesota Vikings. Not only that, like the Cowboys offense is clicking, the Cowboys defense is elite. The last underlying thing around this game. I believe the winner of this game gets Odell Beckham Jr. on their roster. It's very clear that his two most interested teams are the Giants and the Cowboys. The Giants being his former team. The Cowboys, Dallas is just a hot spot for a lot of players. Massive brand, and they're very good right now. I believe the winner of this game most likely signs Odell Beckham Jr. because the Cowboys have big interest in him. He has big interest in both the Giants and Cowboys. He also had interest in some other teams, but I think that interest has gone down, and it's pretty clear he wants Giants or Cowboys. I think most people think and know that the Giants are not as good as they've seemed this year. They're definitely much better than they were projected to be and expected to be, but they're still not as good as their record shows and as some people think they are. Saquon Barkley's a beast. He's not enough. Daniel Jones isn't that bad, but he's not good enough. The Giants play time of possession, slow cooking football, and it's been generating a lot of wins, but they're not as good as their record and all that shows. All that to say, I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout or anything, but I think this is definitely a Cowboys win. And I'd say not too long after that, we're going to see Odell Beckham Jr. signing down in Dallas for this playoff run. Ram!
Ooh, that take was hot and spicy.
Hot, spicy. Now I'm handing the mic over to the anti-Cowboys fan, Ram.
No, I'm not an anti-Cowboys fan. I'm going to take the Cowboys as well, for a lot of the same reasons. Better athletes, coming off a big win. I think they're just a better football team. Dable's going to give the New York Football Giants a shot to win. I mean, he's gotten them here to this point for a reason, but I don't think they can outplay the Cowboys. I just don't. And another thing is, here's a bold prediction for this game. You ready? I'm not going to say score-wise. The Dallas Cowboys pass rush that obliterated the Vikings last week, the Dallas Cowboys pass rush will force 2 fumbles on Daniel Jones, and they will recover both of them.
You think Daniel Jones fumbles twice in one game?
Yes, Daniel Jones will fumble twice in one game and lose both. I'm calling it right here.
I hope to
He
see
is
it.
gonna have the most miserable game ever because their offensive line cannot keep up with the Cowboys' pass rush. They just can't. So there you go. The Cowboys win because they have better athletes and their defensive line is goated.
I hope
Next,
you're right. Patriots at Vikings. Now we're down to the Sunday games. This one I'm a hair conflicted on. The Vikings are a much better team than the Patriots. And the Vikings just got dunked on, absolutely pounded by the Cowboys in Minnesota last week. I don't exactly know, because they were 8-1 up until that point. I don't exactly know how the Vikings will respond to a game like that. So they had it is a lucky win to the Bills 2 weeks ago. Justin Jefferson obviously had the incredible catch on 4th and 18, but then they had like Josh Allen fumbling the snap. Like the Vikings should not have been in that game. I don't think anyone watched that game and afterwards thought the Vikings are definitely a better football team than the Bills. I don't think anyone really thought that. The Vikings snuck that win in very luckily at the end. Yes, they fought for it and they earned it, but like I don't think anyone thought the Vikings were just a better football team than the Bills after that game. But the Bills have kind of had that happen a few times this year where they just kind of drop the ball for some reason. Problem is, I don't know how the Vikings respond to a 40-3 loss at home. And I don't know if I think the Vikings, who have really good players and have been very successful this year, I don't know if the Vikings bounce back and re-stabilize themselves like they were playing before last week, or if Bill Belichick and the Patriots, a very smart defensive football team, look at what the Cowboys did and just outcoach them to a win here. I don't know if the Patriots have the firepower on any side of the ball to replicate. I don't, obviously not replicate what the Cowboys did. If the Patriots win, I think it'd be a close game. Do not think there's a universe that the Patriots blow them out by like more than 3 touchdowns or anything like that. And the Patriots also don't have like a Micah Parsons or like anyone on the Dallas Cowboys pass rush level, which is really where the Vikings got absolutely hammered. So even if even if they get out coached, I don't know if the Patriots have the weapons on any side of the ball to really outplay the Vikings. So I do think the Patriots have a good chance here, but I'm gonna have to pick Minnesota.
woo! Oh man! All right, so y'all, Kyronians of all ages, and whether you like football or not, hear me out. So I'm not gonna give a massive football-y analysis here, okay? But I'm gonna go somewhere else for inspiration for this pick. So the NFL meme lords, particularly the ones that get to use the same product over and over and over again. It's not a hard business to master. And you know who makes it super easy? Primetime Kirk Cousins. Primetime Kirk Cousins is where? We don't know. We haven't seen him in so long. Now, primetime Kirk Cousins on Thanksgiving, that's an even bigger stage.
Is
The
this
lights are even
Thanksgiving?
brighter.
It
It is
is. I was
Thanksgiving.
thinking this was Sunday.
This is Thanksgiving.
Ooh,
The
that
lights
might
are
be a
even
big
brighter.
point.
Y'all, I don't think he can take it. Justin Jefferson didn't do nothing last week. Is he
Trayvon
capable
Diggs is
of
his
doing
father.
something? Is he capable of doing something whenever he wants? Yes. But who's throwing the ball? Lark Lessons. In prime time. Under the lights. Against Belichick. I don't know why. Officially. I don't officially know why. But I'm going to take the New England Patriots in this one.
Wow. Dude,
I'm
honestly,
going to take the Patriots. If they lose, I will eat my words.
it
The
sounds
Vikings
like
have officially been better. If the Patriots defense can play like they did against Zach Wilson, I think the Patriots can sneak into Minneapolis and pull out a win on Turkey Day. And the defense will be eating that good old turkey at the post-game interview.
It
Calling it
sounds
right now,
like
baby.
it sounds like a superstitious thing to say, "Oh, it's Kirk Cousins in prime time." But literally, he has been so historically unfathomably bad in primetime games. I'm actually like very nervous about my pick now. I was really thinking for some reason that was a Sunday game and that it wasn't the thing. But it's not only primetime, it's primetime on a holiday. That
It's like
makes
a
me
double
nervous about
whammy.
that pick. I know the Vikings are the better team, so I'm going to try to take comfort in that, but I almost wish I picked the Patriots now. But let's move on to the actual slate of Sunday games. Texans at Dolphins. This should be a quick one. The Dolphins. We're going to talk about every team in depth and how they've done this year in the rankings, which will be our next segment. But I'll just go ahead and say the Dolphins right now are hot. They have been pretty much all season, despite the stretch where Tua went out with all that weird concussion controversy and all of that. But I believe the Dolphins are undefeated with a healthy Tua starting. 7-0 with 3 losses coming from when he was injured. That's not going to stop against the Texans. Let's just put it that way. Nothing else needs to be said. Ram?
Yeah, easy money. It's at home in the 305. Beautiful weather, beautiful stadium. I got to roll with the future AFC East champs. Wait, what? Dolphins.
Bengals at Titans. Now, I feel like we're both going to make the same pick here because you're a little bit of a fanboy for that team down there in Tennessee.
Just a
But
little. Just a
I
little.
could see this maybe being a game that switches if this week goes to overtime. I am going to pick the Titans over the Bengals this week.
Eh. Let me roll with Tennessee. I'm
Big
liking what I'm
shocker there.
seeing. I'm liking objectively. I am liking what I'm seeing from Tennessee lately. Hopefully, Burks gets some targets. You throw Burks the ball, good things happen. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He tells the corners that they're too small. I mean, listen, Derrick Henry. Who knew Derrick Henry had such an amazing Tebow-esque jump pass? I didn't. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Tennessee. Bengals, they were a little too close to the awful Steelers on Sunday, so I don't think they'll go into Nashville and pull that one out. Not seeing it.
All right, next up, we've got the undisputed game of the week.
Oh my word.
This will be the most
What is
entertaining
this?
football game of the year. This is my game of the year.
Woo.
The Denver Broncos in Carolina at the Carolina Panthers. What's so hilarious about this? I don't know, dude. The Panthers beat the Buccaneers that one week. So like the Panthers almost beat the Falcons when DJ Moore had the weird helmet thing. So the Panthers can be good, but the Panthers
they're
are like
not.
one of a couple teams I would say is actually worse than the Broncos. Listen, it has not once really served me well this year. But Broncos country, I'm calling on you to ride.
Oh my
I feel so gross. I don't know how many times I can put my balls, in Russell Wilson's court. There had to have been a better way to phrase that. But I don't know how many times I can bet it all on Russell Wilson and be disappointed. But I'm doing it again. Broncos country, saddle up because it's time to ride. Ram?
Wow. Okay.
Just pick the Panthers so we can split. Just pick the Panthers.
I rolled with Broncos country last week.
How did that go for you? They were playing the 2-7 Raiders and lost.
And y'all, I had to play Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. Have they had beastly seasons? Oh, you betcha. Did I still think that they were going to find a way to lose and hope they both played well at the same time? Yeah. I don't know why. Broncos country is trash. Nathaniel Hackett is trash. I don't want to be like him. Russell Wilson.
Trash.
You fell off, man. I don't know what happened to you. I'm
Russ
gonna
is
roll.
cooked.
I am gonna roll with Sammy Darnold, and
Is
I'm
he
gonna take the
starting this
Panthers.
week?
Sam Darnold is getting the start this week.
That's
I'm
kind of
rolling with
epic.
Sam down there in Charlotte. The Panthers will
Honestly,
win.
I'm kind of
A
nervous
close
about
one.
both of my split picks now.
This game will be close. It's not going to be a fun game to watch. Or maybe it will be fun. Maybe I'll watch it very closely for all the turnovers.
It's the toilet bowl. This is going to be amazing. All right, Bears at Jets in New York. As much as a fan, I really want the Bears to win. I really like Justin Fields, and I just want to see the Bears be successful. The Jets are a team I don't really feel that bad for. For some reason, I just don't have pity for the Jets. So they've been terrible for so long, I don't really care. The Bears, I want to see be good, though. As much as I want the Bears to win, and the Jets did just lose to the Patriots with Mac Jones and all that crap, and the Jets look so bad. The Jets have been pretty good this year, and the Bears have not been that good this year. The Bears have been picking it up, though. Dang, I'm kind of torn. I want to pick the Bears as a fan, but I'm going to have to pick the Jets. Ram?
Ooh. Here's the thing. Zach Wilson. A little bit of turmoil in Gotham City and that New York Jets organization. Robert Saleh. He's got a predicament on his hands. He's in a little bit of a pickle, y'all. Is Zach Wilson going to play? Or is he going to have to turn once again, like first weeks of the season, to Joe Combacco? That's a serious
Joe
question.
Combacco.
Now, do I like Joe Flacco? No. I'm of the opinion that Joe Flacco is the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
And that's only because of Wasp. Because it would have been Jimmy Garoppolo.
So, Bears and Jets, listen. Justin Fields. He's a stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Justin Fields,
With the way the
as
Jets
a fantasy quarterback, is top 5. Justin Fields as a football quarterback is bottom 5.
Now, Justin Fields will have to out-athlete the New York Jets. And I think he can do it. He may throw a pick to Sauce Gardner. He may not throw Sauce Gardner's direction at all.
Sauce Gardner is cold, dude. He is cold.
He's very cold. He's going to have to win this game with his legs. And when his legs aren't working, Montgomery and Herbert are going to have to win with their legs. I think they can win the game with their legs. Give me the Bears in Gotham City. They've lost many close games. They have to win one eventually. Give me Chicago, baby. I'm rooting for Justin Fields because he's a cool dude and he's a heck of an athlete. And he's got to win eventually. Just has to.
Splits left and right.
Screw the Jets.
Game number 8. We've got the Falcons in D.C. at the Washington Commanders. The best stadium in all of football.
No, that's Jacksonville now, since they have 129 violations that they found from an inspection. Shout out to the rodents in the concession stand. Hope y'all are doing well.
Yeah. Falcons at the Commanders. The Falcons have honestly not been that terrible this year. The Commanders have been really terrible at times, but they are a completely new team since switching from Wentz to Taylor Heineke. I've been a big Taylor Heineke fan ever since the first time I saw him play in that playoff game against the Buccaneers. I will continue to be a Taylor Heineke fan, and he has really started to prove himself as a quarterback. Now, yeah, he feels like a young guy because his NFL career is only like 2 or 3 years old at this point, but he's like 28 or 29. He's not like a young dude, but he's really coming to his own, and I'm not a Commanders fan, but I really like me Taylor Heineke. I like me Terry McLaurin, and Commanders are on a roll right now. And I can very well see them losing to the Falcons, but I'm giving it to the Commanders.
Wise choice, if I do say so myself. So, Taylor Heineke. Everybody knows I've been a little bit of a Taylor Heineke stan lately, for good reason, because he's just a stud.
Heineke hype
So,
train.
and when he gets those new Jordans every time he gets a win, listen, he's going to be getting another pair this week. He's going to be getting a pair of bread Jordans because the Falcons they just can't keep it going, especially on the road. At home, I like watching them play. I like watching Mariota to see if he's going to try to throw it from his tailbone or if he's going to run for a 60-yard touchdown. On the road, I'm just not feeling it. The Falcons went and got obliterated by the Panthers. Um, on the road, the Falcons are just trash. Everybody knows it. They want to root for the Falcons, so they can't admit that they're not going to win this game. Um, Heineke is going to be a game manager. Game manager is going to manage the game. You know what I'm saying? Commanders defense, they're going to give Marcus Mariota nightmares in the days leading up to the game and the days after. He will not get much sleep, Commanders, and they will not allow many points.
Buccaneers at the Browns. Now, these are both teams that I feel like are underrated right now. The Browns' record is very bad, but I really like the Browns' offense. Honestly, it's weird to say because they have their best player on the team is Myles Garrett on defense, but the Browns' defense has just been abysmal in some of these games, and the offense is producing. I mean, you've had Brissett this whole time. Um, Also, when do the Browns play the Texans? Is that week 13?
They do. They play the Texans week 13.
I was thinking that was this
And
week for some reason. Yes, I
and
understand
guess
what's
who makes
coming.
his
I'm
return
aware. I thought that was
against
this
the
week for some
Houston
reason.
Texans? What a coincidence. Good job, Roger Goodell.
The
You're in it for
script
the money.
writers are insane. Anyways, um, that being said, the Buccaneers have also been extremely discredited and slept on this year because they have had some low points. But honestly, I just really believe in the Buccaneers right now. Tom Brady undefeated since clearing up all the drama with the divorce. I truly believe that was a massive distraction to him and the team, and that was causing them to not be focused on game day. And I feel like now the air is kind of cleared on that, and they can just focus on football. And Tom Brady, pissed off, focused on football, is not someone I'm going to bet against often. So I'm going with the Buccaneers.
So, before we get into the actual football, Giselle Giselle's still going to be a distraction. Be real.
Emphasis on L. Giselle.
Giselle lives right next to Tom. She's hanging out with her Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor.
Bro, she had him in line. She had that man queued up for the streets. Giselle is for the streets. These Brazilian jiu-jitsu streets.
So, I think there's still a distraction going on. Now, the Browns, they've got Myles Garrett that's going to wreak some havoc on that offensive line. When that offensive line makes one mistake, guess which Karen is there getting ready to destroy a tablet? Yep, my boy Tom. Tom Brady will throw a tablet in this game. He will get in the face of
He
each
will.
offensive lineman, and he will act like a Karen after every incomplete pass. The Bucks are going down in Cleveland. Give me the Browns.
I'm liking all these splits. Now, I'm kind of nervous about some of them. If I end up going 0-6 again, I don't know what I'm going to do after grinding back the last 4 weeks to get back to 6 back.
And listen, the Browns, they're, that's all I can say about the Browns. They're just, they're whatever. The 1-2 punch in the backfield is going to have to win the game. Amari Cooper, the route runner, is going to have to do his route running like he always does. And Myles Garrett's going to have to play on a Pro Bowl level. If they do that, Tom will be neutralized. Mike Evans is going to drop some passes. Offensive line's going to get flustered. They're going to be like, oh, I wish I was sitting on my couch right now at home so Tom wasn't yelling at me. So there you go. I'm getting into the psychology for that game. I'm taking the Browns for a lot of reasons that are not football related. Fight me.
There you go. Ravens at Jaguars. This feels like kind of a trap game for the Ravens, honestly, because the Jaguars have been sneakily really good in some games and then just terrible in all the others. So I could actually see a Jaguars upset here, but the Ravens are a very good team. I feel like they are like the worst of the very good teams in the league. Like there's like the really bad teams, the pretty bad teams, kind of middle of the road teams, pretty good teams, and then like the really good teams. I feel like the Falcons are like the worst of the really good teams. If that makes any sense. I might have made that really confusing. It'll make more sense when we go to the rankings. I really like the Ravens. I feel like they're not quite there at the very top. They've got some holes in their team, but they're very good. I can see the Jaguars here being a trap game, especially when it's not in Baltimore. But regardless, I am putting my chips on the table for Lamar Jackson. I'm going Ravens.
Oh, this is a trap game. I don't like this one. I'm going to take the Ravens as well make this a little personal. I need Lamar and my boy from Clemson, Travis Etienne. I need both those boys to ball. I think they will ball. But the Jaguars are going to have to put up a metric ton of points to keep up because you already know the Ravens are going to put up lots of points. Will the Jaguars put up points? I just don't think they will. Yards, sure, but points are what matters. So I think it'll just be a fun game that will look not very good in the end. The Jaguars' honeymoon from earlier in the season is kind of fading away. It's telling Mr. Stark that it doesn't feel so good. Give me the Ravens.
All right, Game 11, Raiders at Seahawks. I got to tell you, despite some of the moments of heartbreak, despite losing WGP, despite all of that, this has been a great year of football for teams that I am a fan of, besides the Cardinals. They suck. But I love the Cowboys, I love the Seahawks, I love the Chiefs. It's been a great year. I like the Titans a lot. It's been a great year. It's been a great year. And I'll tell you what, these Seattle Seahawks, they're not stopping now. The Raiders have some momentum. Devontae Adams was balling, but they just barely beat the Broncos in overtime. Give me Seattle.
Oh, okay. So I had a pick.
It's the Raiders.
Queued
It's the
up for
Raiders,
this
isn't it?
game.
It's the Raiders, isn't it?
I had a pick queued up for this game, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Here's the thing.
You know you want to pick the Raiders.
There's a lot of people in this world that love lists of pros and cons. Let's just go through the pros and cons real quick. The Raiders, the pros, even though a lot of them don't play like pros. Josh Jacobs churns up the yards. Devontae Adams can't be stopped over the middle. And if he's playing against a bad secondary, there's nobody within 30 yards of him in overtime. Now, the cons. Derek Carr, my dog. He ain't doing very good.
But hold on. Devontae Adams said he upgraded from Aaron Rodgers when he went to Derek Carr. Was he lying? Are you accusing Devontae Adams of lying?
I think that his vision is quite cloudy from the old college days at Fresno State University.
Fresno.
If you're not throwing to Devontae Adams, you're either throwing to the turf at Lumen Field or
Hunter Renfrow
to Tariq Woolen. I don't even know if Hunter Renfrow's back. I think he's still hurt.
Is he? Never mind. I'm dumb. My bad.
So
guys. Casual. That's a command. Casual.
Now on to Seattle. Listen, Geno Smith. You're gonna get the same Geno Smith every week. Is he gonna produce? Yeah, he's gonna produce a little bit. Kenneth Walker.
I love him so much. My fiance might be getting me a Kenneth Walker jersey for Christmas. She says she wants to get me something Seattle for Christmas because I don't own anything Seattle, but she has like a million Cowboys things that I've given her. So she
Ooh.
said she is either going to get me a Seahawks hoodie or a jersey. But she was asking me, she's like, if I get you a Seahawks jersey, who do you want? I was like, give me either DK Metcalf or Kenneth Walker. I'll be in love with either.
That's an alpha man move. Give your woman a jersey with your team. That's
Oh no! Ah!
oh man, that's a good
Okay, you're
one.
back. You were
So
frozen. What did you say?
I'm just talking about how much of an alpha male move that is to give your girl a jersey from your team and not hers. But so Kenneth Walker, he's been kind of unstoppable. He's on the rookie honeymoon where nobody really knows what to do. All they have is a little bit of game film from the NFL and all of his college film at Michigan State where he's running over dudes in the snow. I need the honeymoon period to continue if Seattle's going to win. I think it'll continue. Just will it be enough?
Pick the Raiders. You know you want to.
The wideouts. Will DK show up? Will Lockett show up? I don't know.
You got to make a pick. 5.
I'm going to take Seattle because I just don't know.
No! Ah!
I just
Dang
don't know.
it. Dang it. All right.
I initially had Seattle lined up, but I think it is possible that their secondary quits playing like they have in the past, and they let Devontae Adams go for like another however many yards like he had last week.
All right. Chargers at Cardinals. Now, expectations going into the year for these teams was a little bit different, but to me, these teams are equally disappointing. The Chargers were supposed to be really good, and the Cardinals were supposed to be pretty good, and instead the Cardinals were bad, and the Chargers are just mid. So, that sucks. I love the Cardinals. They're one of my absolute favorite teams, but they've got some issues. Chargers have their issues as well, but they're a better team right now. I'm going to have to pick the Chargers, but I would really like to pick the Cardinals, but I can't in good faith do that right now. The Chargers are at least playing games with the Chiefs, who are easily the best team in the league right now, in my opinion. And the Cardinals, who did they just get absolutely clapped by? The freaking...
The 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers are good, but like, bro, they lost by 28? Yeah, no thanks. I'm picking the Chargers. Granted, I know Kyler Murray wasn't playing, but a lot of people either on the Cardinals or like Cardinals fans really don't like Kyler Murray for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the Call of Duty thing or if they think he's immature or he's short. I don't know what it is. Kyler Murray is sensational. I love Kyler Murray, but a lot of people really don't like him. Either way, I don't know if he's back. Either way, I'm picking the Chargers.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to take the Chargers too. Eckler's been playing pretty good. Herbert threw some dimes against the Kansas City Chiefs and kept him in it. Chargers defense, I think they're going to terrorize whoever is QB1. Whether it's Kyler Murray with bags under his eyes from COD, whether it's old Colt or Trace McSorley, who throws it on a dime to corners. This game might get really bad. I'm going to tell y'all right now, this game might actually be a massacre in Glendale.
Think the Chargers blow them out?
Chargers by 90. Bolts by 90.
I don't know if it'll be that bad. I could see it being 10-14 though. Maybe 17-21. We'll see.
Bolts still by 90.
Saints at 49ers. This is the quick one. The 49ers are really good, and at home, the Saints are not really good, and they're away. Don't need to say anything else. I got 49ers.
I love the expert analysis. I couldn't have put it better myself. Give me the Niners.
Rams at Chiefs. This is even easier. The Rams are really bad, and the Chiefs are the best in the league, and it's at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs 96 times out of 100 on this matchup.
Chat, before I make my pick, can we just mourn the loss of what this game should have been looking before the season?
This should have been a good game.
This game was supposed to be great.
This is
I
what
had
the
looked
Super Bowl
forward to this
matchup.
game for so long.
This
And
might
the
should have
Rams are
been.
trash. They are trash. They can't play. Bona fide scrubs.
Yep.
Give me
when it
Kansas
come
City.
when it comes to the Rams this year, we have been
Ugh.
hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok,
Run
and
amok.
flat out deceived. Yeah, this might be what the Super Bowl matchup last year should have been. And this also is a rematch of one of the most high-scoring regular season games ever. So, could have been awesome. And Cooper Kupp isn't even playing. Matt Stafford, I don't even know if he's playing. But they've
Man,
just
I mean,
sucked.
the Rams cut Darrell Henderson today. I don't know why
Oh, I
teams
need
are
to
just
drop him off
randomly.
my fantasy team.
I don't know why they're just randomly cutting running backs from all these teams. Broncos country, you're trash. So
All right.
the Rams are just in shambles.
All right. Chiefs, easy pick. Let's finish this up pretty quick. Packers at Eagles. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers pull a rabbit out of his hat again to crap on my least favorite team in sports, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. I would love that. I hate on the Eagles. I do really like Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelsey. I actually really like Devontae Smith. I don't like A.J. Brown. I actually hate that guy. I don't really have a great reason. I just don't like him, and I hate the Eagles. I like Darius.
Is it because of the connection, Kyro?
Shut
Is that
up!
why?
I didn't like A.J. Brown on the Titans. He's good, but he's not like, he doesn't have a thing. He's just kind of solid. He's not like the biggest or the fastest. He's not the best route runner. He's not the best at like mossing dudes. He's just a solid receiver who's good. He's a solid receiver. I will disrespect A.J. Brown. I'll happily disrespect A.J. Brown. I would love for a Packers upset here, especially because I did it with the Cowboys. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I got Philadelphia, as much as it pains me to say. Ram, make it quick.
Eagles have exposed your true colors, unfortunately. Give me Philly.
Yeah. Don't even explain it. We know.
Between Sirianni and LaFleur, Sirianni's going to wreck him.
All right. Steelers at Colts. The Steelers have had an unfortunate season. I am a closet Steelers fan. I would like to see them win this game. It's at Indianapolis. The Jeff Saturday-led Colts have been on the come-up. They're 1-1 since he's been a coach. Their loss being by 1 point to the best record in the league, Philadelphia Eagles. So, I want to give the Steelers a chance. The Steelers' defense is great. The Colts' offense is not that great, but the Steelers' offense is so bad, and the Colts' defense is pretty good. I think the Colts' defense is more better than the Steelers' offense. Then that's going to be a confusing way to explain it. You get what I was trying to say. I want to pick the Steelers. I got to pick the Colts, unfortunately. Ram?
I was really hoping.
I'm actually
hoping you'd roll
close
with
to
Pittsburgh.
I'm actually really close to picking the Steelers, but I'm going to go Colts.
I was really hoping you picked Pittsburgh. I'm going with the Colts too. I think they get a W, especially at home.
When I'm
if
6
they can
games
just hold
back,
the lead,
yeah,
they'll hold a lead against the Pittsburgh Steelers easily. If they can do it against the Eagles, then
yeah.
I mean,
when I'm 6 games back, I can't be that risky. So, anyways, those are our Week 12 predictions for the slate of games, Thanksgiving week of the NFL season. There's our picks. We will react to them on next week's show and see how much closer or further away or of equal distance I am to I suck at talking, dude.
Gaining the lead.
Gaining the lead, making the score even, tying it up, whatever it is. Anyways, that's Week 12 predictions. All right. Got that big segment finished. So that crosses that off the checklist. Wow. Okay, so obviously I know WGP is a very long segment, especially when we had to react to like 5 weeks. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bullet points of segments, and that was the first one.
All right. right, well, let's just do a crash course.
Yeah, so that was like an hour and a half. So this stream should be done by like 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Easy. I'm just kidding. We're not going to go that long.
GG
We'll
easy.
speed it up. Ranking the 32 teams will probably be kind of long as well. After that, it should kind of quicken up. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, we knew this was going to be a long stream. I am going to take this moment, though, to take a break while we have the chance, since we just finished up a big segment. Not even like a you entertain the stream thing. I'll give us a few minutes. And then we'll get back at it. Can we actually switch scenes now? So earlier, you might have seen this on my Instagram story. I posted about this. But they announced, and at the start of this year, I started like a niche comic book collection, mainly just Batman and Spider-Man stuff. I know, super normie, everyone's favorite superheroes. But I was building that collection. You also might know KyroCast started as a rapper. Still am. Pending. Stay tuned one day. But, you know, classic white boy who's into rap. I love Eminem, and Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. So when I found out today, it was announced last night, but I found out today that they were releasing a limited edition copy of a Spider-Man comic with a special, exclusive, limited variant of the cover. This cover artwork is Eminem and Spider-Man having a rap battle, which is the coolest thing ever. But in the audience, you can find, this isn't the full picture of the cover. In the audience, you can find Miles Morales, the Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, Black Panther, Luke Cage, Daredevil, like all these. It's just a dope-looking comic book cover. And so they announced that sometime today, they were going to release only on the official Eminem store, 5,000 copies of this Spider-Man comic with this special custom variant cover. Coolest looking thing ever. It's the background on my phone already. Look at that crap. I'm telling you, I took my fiance off the background of my phone for this cover art. I love it so much. And so I was like, I'm copping this freaking comic book cover. As long as it's not like $1,000, I'm refreshing Eminem's site until I get it. I'm not even lying, bro. I was researching everywhere. How can I find out when this cover will drop? And so I started refreshing from the website at around like noon, probably 11:30, 11:45 noon, that time. When I found out about it, I went to a site and started just like refreshing. And then I was researching simultaneously while I did that. Come to find out, well, quote unquote find out, the rumored consensus was that it was going to drop 12 p.m. Pacific time, which for me would be 2 p.m. And so I had been refreshing for a while, since like 11:45 or 12. Well, I refreshed until 2 p.m. my time, which is noon Pacific time, and kept refreshing like, all right, it's got to be by now. I really wanted to buy this comic book cover. It'd be awesome to my collection. Plus, it's just the coolest, most KyroCast-centered comic book art because I love Spider-Man, I love Eminem. It's just perfect. It looks so cool. I wanted this so bad. I kept refreshing. I'd spent over 2 hours of my life doing this crap till like 2:30. So I've been doing this like 2.5 hours, sitting on this website, digging through every page, refreshing the store, trying to find this comic book. Like I was like, did it already drop? Did it sell out? And I just like can't see it anymore. Like, what happened? But the thing was, everything else on his store that's sold out, it's still there. It just says sold out. But I couldn't even find the comic book. I was looking everywhere for it. So it's like 2:30. I'd been spending over 2 hours looking for this thing. And I'm like, okay, well, let me take a break since I've wasted my whole freaking day doing this. Let me go do something. And so I went into the backyard and just threw a football around with my brother for 20 minutes. 20 mere minutes. 20 minutes. I come after I spent 2.5 hours sitting on my butt at this desk, refreshing a stupid M&M store all day. 2.5 hours I did that crap. I leave for 20 minutes to throw a football with my little brother. Come back. Hit refresh on the screen. Immediately the comic book pops up and it's already sold out. Ah! Bro!
Didn't get to cop the copy, did you?
No, I'm seething. Dude, I spent 2.5 hours refreshing that freaking stupid page for it to come up in the 20 minutes I was gone. Gosh, that makes me mad, dude. So I'm never gonna have it. Yeah, so they released 5,000 copies. They're releasing 1,000 more copies on a different website like a week from now, and that's gonna be the last of them. I don't think I have a shot at getting that though, and I don't really want to. So it is what it is. But I'm pretty pressed. So that's just a little
Sorry,
extra
man.
tidbit for you. Yeah, it blows, but it is what it is. All right.
I can tell you're sad.
I am sad about that. It does suck. Is it time to just go ahead and rank all 32 NFL teams?
I think there's no time like the present. So
Oh, I'm
how's this
talking
gonna
about.
work, KyroCast? So you just going from 32 to 1 and then giving your little spiel on all 32, whether
Yeah, it'll be
short or
like we
long?
did at the beginning of the year, except I'll try to make it much faster because that last one was like 2 hours. This will be much faster. Because we have like concrete evidence on what each team is. There'll be a little bit of speculation. It's just kind of how good I think teams are, 32 to 1. Not necessarily just record-based power rankings. It's kind of how good I think they are. Some of them I might have their record. Some of them I might have let their record set their position a little bit more than others. I can't really remember. I kind of did this a little bit sporadically. Let me just scroll through it real quick while you guys can't see it. See if there's anything I want to change last minute. There probably is, but I can't really pick anything out super quick.
It's your list, dog. You do what you want with it.
We're just gonna have to roll with it, how it is. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, before the season began, prior to week 1 of this NFL season, we ranked all 32 NFL teams. Now, it might not be a massive video, but that is still the most viewed video on the NFL KyroCast Kyro Sports channel. We ranked all 32 teams before the NFL season began. Some of our picks were pretty good, pretty based. Some of our picks were pretty terrible. I say it's my picks. I have my lovely, beautiful co-host Sarnasty here with me to react, keep me company, give his little thoughts, tidbits. You know what
For
it
moral
is.
support, nothing else.
That's right. The video was
And
also
to trash on his picks that are massive L's.
Yeah. So I'll try to keep this list a little bit more concise, faster, so it's not a freaking hour and a half long video or whatever. And yeah, we'll just go with that. Now, do I need to give any further ado, or should we just get into it? Let's just get into it. At 32, I'm happy to say that this is a team I had 32 at the beginning and are still 32 in my eyes. I don't think anyone really disagrees. There was a little bit of hype I saw from some people that thought the Texans were going to be all right through the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, but no. I never doubted it for a second. This team sucks. I've always thought that. I still think that. They're the worst team in the league. I'm happy that that pick has been able to stay consistent. At 31, the Carolina Panthers. I was so sure that this team was going to take a step in the right direction this year, and then Baker Mayfield has played like the worst of Baker Mayfield we've seen. They lost Christian McCaffrey, then Baker Mayfield kind of got hurt. Then they were playing the guy from the XFL, who I actually like, but is not a strong NFL quarterback. Now they're playing Sam Darnold. This team has randomly beat the Buccaneers. They beat Tom Brady. They randomly almost beat another team, and then DJ Moore had a weird taking a helmet off thing. They traded Robbie Anderson. This team has been so weird, but one thing has been consistent, minus a very couple of rare moments. They are bad. They're so bad, and that's not changing anytime soon. Rest in peace, Carolina. You're at 31. At 30, I can't believe I have to say this. Everyone knows it's true. Broncos country. Let's die. Broncos country. Let's cry. Broncos country. Let's do high knees on the plane to London and never win any football games ever. Let's pay $290 million to Russell Wilson for him to be a freaking 108th of the player he was in Seattle. Let's hire Nathaniel Hackett to be the worst NFL head coach in history. Let's, at this point in the season, be playing our 5th string running back. Let's let our 2 promising receivers never do anything because they can't get on the same page. Let's have Russell Wilson call his Seattle audibles that the Broncos players obviously don't know. Everything with this team is wrong.
That's
Everything.
just why would you do that? Like that's so stupid.
Everything with this team is wrong. Free State, my dog. It is good to see you in chat, my friend. So good to see you. I hope you're doing so well. Broncos country, it's time to die. You guys suck. As much as I thought you were going to be better. Where did I have them? There are some teams that took massive drops. The Broncos and the Colts are two teams that I had pretty high that are very low now. But I know what team had the biggest drop. And I don't think it's the Broncos. It might be, though. Number 29, I hate to say it, because I am a closet fan of this team. I think they have pieces that can develop into something. I think this team shouldn't be too afraid of the near future. I think they can be something pretty soon. I don't think they can be a Super Bowl team pretty soon, but I think they can be a playoff team pretty soon. But pretty soon is not this year. I like the Steelers. Kenny Pickett, it's his rookie year. I believe he should have been getting reps from the start. I don't think they should have danced around with Mitch Trubisky as long as they did. Kenny Pickett is not an immediate breadwinner by any means. He's not a superstar right now. But he's got something. Some kind of promise. There's something with Kenny Pickett there. I don't know what it is. It might not be that good. He's a rookie, though, and you cannot write off rookies this early. Rambo's shaking his head because Rambo doesn't know how developing in the NFL works. Back in the day...
Kenny Pickett is not going to be good. You can save this clip.
You can say that all you want, but you don't know. You can say that all you want. You don't know.
Not be good.
Cool, say it. You can keep saying that. Yes, so many quarterbacks sucked early on. Back in the day, like 10 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, you didn't know if you had evaluated a quarterback till he had played like 3 full seasons. Kenny Pickett has played like 6 games, and you're going to say, he's not going to be good. We already know who he is. No, you don't. You're just being dumb at that point. I'm not saying he's going to be great. I'm not saying he's necessarily for sure the future. I'm just saying we don't really know yet, and there's some promise there. The receivers, George Pickens, I really like him. You still got Deontay Johnson. I got to say about Najee Harris. Infamous, everyone gave me so much crap for putting him as a C-tier running back last year, which last year he should have been higher. He should have been a B-tier, which we mended. But I got to say, yes, he is coming off a good game. He had that super awesome leap into the end zone last week. That was cool. And yes, he's been dealing with some injuries here and there. I know that. But Najee Harris has been kind of not what I was expecting this year. The Steelers' defense is still very good. They just got TJ Watt back, who was injured. But the Steelers' defense is still awesome. It sucks to put them at 29. I want to put them higher. Their offense is just not there right now, and I don't think they will be at all this season. By next year, they might have something, but it'll probably take a full another year before this offense could gel into something. But again, they might not. But there's a chance. The defense is still really good, and I hope they're able to make something out of this team while they still have this great defense. While they got Micah Fitzpatrick, still got TJ Watt, all these guys. I hope they're able to make some kind of viable, at least bottom of the playoffs team that can make some kind of a push or compete for something in the playoffs. I hope they can form something out of this team in the next couple of years. It might not happen, but I hope it does. Steelers at 29. At 28, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders. They just came off an overtime win against the Denver Broncos. Nothing impressive there. Devontae Adams, it's just been an unfortunate year for the Raiders. They were the worst record team for a long time. And yet, I think they're like 3-7, and 2 of those 3 wins are on the Denver Broncos. That's just immaculate right there. That just is a testament to how terrible the Broncos are. But the Raiders are bad too. Derek Carr has not had it. Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, as you were saying earlier, and I've always said, are both really good. That's about the only bright spots I could point out for the Raiders. They've had their typical Raiders issues, and they just have not been good. And as far as the AFC West goes, that is their division, right? I'm not tripping. I get divisions, especially AFC, kind of jumbled sometimes. They're not the Chiefs. They're not the Chargers. What's the 4th team there?
What, in the AFC West?
Yeah.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Yeah. I just said they played the Broncos twice. I'm dumb. Well, they're better than the Broncos. I'll give them that. But this team's not going to the playoffs. This team's not going to do anything. Devontae Adams, yeah, the Packers have sucked, but the Packers probably wouldn't have sucked nearly this much and might have won a lot more games if they had Devontae Adams, because the biggest hole for the... Was I say Broncos, or did I say Packers? I meant to say Packers. I don't know. This clip is going into shambles. Basically, the Raiders
I want to
suck.
see the Broncos play. I want to see if the Broncos are any good.
Is that what I call them?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
It's what I
Raiders
chose to
suck.
hear.
Long story short. Number
They're trash.
27. This has got to be the farthest drop of a team. Preseason,
Hurts my soul.
I had Broncos at 7, and they dropped to 30th. Preseason, I had the Rams at 2, and they dropped to 27. 25 spots has got to be the farthest drop of any team. I don't think any other team fell as far.
Good job, Rams.
The Rams, they lost Von Miller and they lost Odell Beckham Jr. Those two I thought were just like bonus pieces last year that just helped, but weren't like the whole thing. But this team has just tanked since losing those players. Matt Stafford is the worst version of Matt Stafford we've seen. Worse than his Detroit days. Clearly much worse than last year, which was the best year of his career. Cooper Kupp was balling. The only player on that team who was really balling. Aaron Donald's had his moments. Hasn't really dominated. Jalen Ramsey's been getting cooked a lot more this year than I feel like we normally see from him. Cooper Kupp, though, was balling and just got injured. The Rams are done for. They haven't had any kind of a run game. They didn't have any receivers besides Cooper Kupp, who's now out for the foreseeable future. The Rams are just done. Super Bowl hangover is a real thing, but this is like not even a Super Bowl hangover. This is like a Super Bowl freaking, I don't even know. Like,
Coma?
a coma? Like, the Rams have just plummeted. Like, this is the fastest I've seen a team turn to crap after winning a championship that I can think of. So, sucks for the Rams. 26, I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. This feels like it's pretty close to where I had them before the season. Now, they jumped up really high there for a second during the season when they beat the Colts 24-0. They hang with some good teams, but their record is still terrible. They're still not great. They've got promise. I like Etienne. Christian Kirk's pretty good. I really think Trevor Lawrence is still going to be a good quarterback in this league, but the Jaguars just don't have it yet. They might in the near-ish future. When I say near-ish, I mean like 2 to 4 years. They might have something, but they don't have it this year. They probably won't have it next year. Who knows what it's going to look like after that? It's hard to say. You can never really tell, can you? 25. I've got the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, on some people's power rankings, are even lower. Their record's not good. The Browns have something, though. Their defense has really, really sucked this year. They got Myles Garrett, who's the best player on their team, but that defense as a whole is just coming up short. Jacoby Brissett has played better than you can probably expect or ask of Jacoby Brissett going into the year. Amari Cooper, I could have told you. I loved him, absolutely loved him in Dallas. I'm still upset we lost him. But Amari Cooper has been great for the Browns. Nick Chubb, I would have told you before the year, was a top 3 running back. Some people would have scoffed at that. And right now, he's a top 1 or 2 running back. I think stats-wise, he's top 1. But I don't think there's any running back in the league I would take over Nick Chubb, except maybe Derrick Henry. Probably Derrick Henry. But Nick Chubb is fantastic. You can't tell me there's another running back right now besides Derrick Henry you take over Nick Chubb. You might want to say McCaffrey or somebody. I'm taking Nick Chubb. Anyways, all that to say, the Browns' record is bad. They've come up short in a lot of games. They've had some upsets over teams that they shouldn't have beat, probably. But defense isn't there. Still a lot of question marks with this team. It's the Browns. So, I like them. They've got some really good stuff, but they're just not winning. 24, I've got the Bears. The Bears have picked it up a lot in recent weeks, but they're still not very good. Justin Fields is figuring out that he is very fast, and he can score a lot of fantasy points on the ground. His passing is not really there, but he also doesn't really have weapons. They just got Chase Claypool, who, despite being a self-proclaimed...
Not a weapon.
I was going to say, despite being a self-proclaimed top 3 receiver in the league, is actually just kind of a big old nothing burger. He's a giant Mapletron who does nothing. Really, he really just does nothing. He makes TikToks and goes out there, runs in circles, and celebrates first downs and costs his team games. I'm still going to give him crap for that because I am a certified hater. Sorry to say.
He deserves it. It's okay.
I have had Chase Claypool on my fantasy bench the last 2 or 3 years, and he's never done a thing for me. Number 23, the Green Bay Packers. I just want to point out, if my father and my brother Teeker happen to be watching this, Yes, they just beat the Cowboys, so that sucked. And so Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is still my father. He owns me, and I hate it. But I want to point out, I had this team at like somewhere in the 12 to 15 range before the season started, and I got lit up, flamed, just berated by these two guys that I was crazy for putting the Packers that low. They were like, look at the Packers schedule and tell me they're not a top 10 team, a top 8 team. The Packers are going to be great this year. I was like, Aaron Rodgers ain't got no receivers. That defense looks good. Hey, newsflash, the defense isn't that good. The Packers have just been awful. They went on one of the worst losing streaks I've ever seen. I think it was 6 or 7 games they lost, including to the Commanders, the Giants, the Lions, all these teams. They're not that good. Beat the Packers. And then the Packers just lost to the Titans. It's just been an awful year. Like a terrible year. I really wish we could have beat them. It really hurts my heart that the Cowboys did not beat the Packers. Like, you have no idea. My PTSD flared up so bad. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have literally ruined my entire life. I've told the story before. I'm sure I'll tell it again multiple times before I die. And Mike McCarthy. Don't even get me started. But there's a chance I forgive Mike McCarthy for everything this year, the way this season is shaping up. But I do not let myself get my hopes up. 22. I've got them Detroit Lions. I love Dan Campbell. My favorite player on the Lions is DeAndre Swift. Now, he's had a rough go of it the last multiple weeks because for some reason they're not just fully resting him. He's still kind of injured and they keep kind of playing him, but like 5 or 6 snaps, and it's like, what's the point? Just let him rest. So I don't really get what's going on there. Despite all that, and their defense has been kind of I really like the Lions. They're a team I really want to see have success. It's just the poor Lions, dude. They just came off a nice win. And they've had some nice wins. There was a time in the first quarter of the season that they were the number 1 scoring offense in the league. And then that plummeted after getting shut out by the Patriots several weeks ago. And then they've just kind of been the Lions since then. But I still believe this team can be something. Not this year, but maybe next year. They're one of these teams that I keep saying some teams aren't something right now, but they might be a little bit into the future. I feel like this team's chance to be something is nearer into the future than a lot of the other teams we talked about. This team could be a playoff team next year. We just have to see how it goes. In their division, the Packers could bounce back, or Aaron Rodgers could just kind of be like, see ya, I'm out, and the Packers could plummet. The Bears are maybe getting better, but they're still bad. The Vikings are the team to deal with, but the Lions could make themselves a playoff team next year. Welcome back, Lance. At 21, we've got the Washington Commanders. Before these last couple weeks, the Commanders were at like 28 for me. And then Taylor Heineke has just injected a new resurgence of life into this team. They're getting wins. They're beating the Philadelphia Eagles, the biggest dub of the century. Smoking that Eagles pack was so fun the other week. I really don't have much to say about the Commanders. Terry McLaurin is still a great receiver. Taylor Heineke has just brought a new life back to this team. I really like Taylor Heineke. And yeah, the Commanders, there's something. There's something. At 20, the New Orleans Saints. I actually have so little to say about this team. I had them pretty high up in the preseason rankings, somewhere in the like 10 to 13 range, I believe. I was banking on their defense being really, really good and their offense being okay. Well, their offense is okay, and their defense is just not really, really good. Their defense is just okay. This is just an okay team. They're just mid right now. I don't like to say mid. I feel like we've been saying it a lot, but it's the best way to describe them. They just... There's not much to say. Their offense is just not good enough, and their defense was supposed to be so much better, and they're not. Saints at 20. At 19, these Colts I also had at like 27 before the last couple weeks. Yes, and most infamous L take I've had so far on the entire existence of this show is that before the season started, I had the Colts at 6 in the entire league, and they have been trash. Dropping 13 spots to 19. They might have been the biggest drop of a team, well, besides the Rams at this point. But these last couple weeks, they got a win over the Raiders. Yes, it's not that impressive, but under the circumstances with a brand new coach, a lot of adversity, controversy, and just nothing good looking for the Colts that week, they got a win. And then they only lost by 1 point to the fraudulent Philadelphia Eagles. So yes, maybe that 1 point loss is not that impressive because the Eagles are frauds, but the Eagles are still, for what we know and see, pretty good. So, yes, they're very good. I know. I like to hate on them. But a very impressive 1-point loss. So I got the Colts back up to 19. Still a massive disappointment this year, but they just saved themselves by like 7 or 8 spots the last couple weeks from where they would have been if we did this special 2 or 3 weeks ago. Number 18, I've got the Cardinals. Another massive disappointment for me. I didn't have them much higher than this before the season started. I think I had them somewhere in the 14 to 16 range. So I expected them to be kind of a middle-of-the-road team, but they're disappointing. I really, really like the Cardinals. They got Hollywood Brown. Yes, he's injured now, I believe. They got Kyler Murray, who's been out a couple weeks with injuries. They did get D-Hop back. I really like the Cardinals. I want to see them be good, but they just don't have it right now for some reason. I don't know if they will get it. It's the sad thing. Maybe next year, if everyone's healthy and not suspended, and they get their team just clicking, maybe they could be something. But I don't know. For some reason, that just doesn't feel like it will happen. It could, but I don't think they're definitely not going to be much of anything this year. And I don't know if this squad will get there in the near future, but they could. I really hope they do. 17, the Atlanta Falcons. I probably have the least to say about this team than any other team. I have them right smack dab near the middle of the road. They have overperformed where I thought they would be, but they're still not good. They're taking losses to the Panthers, who suck, but they're also hanging with good teams. So I don't really know what to say about the Falcons. Marcus Mariota is not a good quarterback by starting quarterback in the NFL standards, but I mean, he's been passable. Kyle Pitts has done absolutely nothing all year and then is now hurt. I think that rookie receiver, I keep forgetting his name.
Drake London.
Drake London. London, I gotta remember that. He shows flashes of being pretty good, but it's just kind of whatever. Not really much to say about the Falcons. Really just kind of a middle of the road. They're overperforming where I thought they'd be, but they're still not good. 16, massive disappointment. I had this team at 4 going into the season. The Chargers, I should have known. Every single year, it's the same story with the Chargers. I get convinced they're going to be good, and they suck. Everyone tells me Justin Herbert is like the second coming of Jesus Christ or something. He's supposed to be just absolutely amazing. Yes, Justin Herbert's good. I'm not saying he's not good. But quit putting him on the level of Mahomes or Josh Allen or whoever. He's not. Quit pretending. Yes, he's good. He could be very, very good in a couple of years. But he's not that big, top-of-the-line, pristine guy yet. He is not the Chargers' problem, though. I focus on him a little bit too much. The Chargers' problem is hard to pinpoint, kind of, for me. Their defense seems inconsistent. And Austin Eckler is good. Keenan Allen's been out, but is back and is playing. I don't really know what to say about the Chargers. But they just always are disappointing. They're just not winning games. They have to play the Chiefs twice a year, so that sucks for them. But other than that, I don't really know what your excuse is. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. I'm sorry. I've got the New York Jets. Talk about overperforming. I believe this team was 31 on the preseason rankings. And they're like 6-4 now. Is it 6-4 or is it 7-4?
I believe it's 6-4.
So 6-4 doesn't sound that great. 6-4 doesn't sound that great, but when they were 6-3, that was really impressive. That meme I sent you where it's like, fun fact about Zach Wilson. He effing sucks. Zach Wilson is not good. He might be the MILF hunter, and that might have raised him a lot in the quarterback hierarchy, but in actual football play, he's still not very good. There is stuff on this team that is promising, though.
Salah's benching him, I'm pretty sure.
Is it this week he's getting benched?
He's considering it.
He was bad last week in that loss to the Patriots.
Well, he
their
probably
defense
wouldn't, but he's an immature child product of BYU, so
bruh.
That's probably what's going to get him benched.
The Jets' young defensive superstars is really where this team has shined. Sauce Gardner, the rookie at corner, and Quinnen Williams, who I think is his 3rd year now, I've both popped, as well as some other players. The Jets, they're at 15, so it's nothing super special, but considering it's the Jets, this is a massive W. They would have been probably 4 or 5 spots higher if they beat the Patriots last week, but I had to drop them for that. Speaking of the devil, the Patriots, man, I do still think they're well coached, especially defensively. Their quarterback and just entire offensive situation is still not good. They still don't have any weapons. at running back or receiver or anything. Their quarterbacks are okay game managers, but they're not special talents or anyone who's going to take over a game. Their defense, they don't have any superstars, I don't believe, not any major superstars at least, but they're very well coached and just have solid game plans. So this is a very well coached team with a bad roster, IMO. But you have the greatest coach of all time, in my opinion. You can only do so much with that if you don't have great players. I don't really know where else to put the Patriots. I feel like they kind of have to be at this spot for me. If they lost to the Jets, they obviously would have been below the Jets. But it was a narrow victory off a random punt return that may or may not have been deserved. So, is what it is. I got them at 14. At 13, this feels honestly a bit high to put this team, but I think it's where they have to be for me. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have looked abysmal in some points of the season. They lost to the Panthers. That was the lowest of the low points, in my opinion. At that point, I was ready to say Tom Brady should have retired. But what else has happened with this team? Week 1, they shut down the Cowboys, who are now really, really good. Like, I have not seen any team be shut down in a while. Tom Brady, since finally clearing out all the distraction, I think it's cleared out. Rambo doesn't think the distraction is gone. I think now that the divorce is finalized and settled, I think the page is turned. There's a lot of mental clarity when there was fog previously in the season with the Buccaneers. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, I believe, are now buckled up, dialed in, focused on football, and they are 2-0 since that divorce was finalized. And a Tom Brady that's pissed off, focused on football, and getting a little bit of momentum, some steam built up, and getting on a roll, I am not going to bet against him that much. I think the Buccaneers are going to narrowly make their way to the playoffs. I think what's their record right now? It's not great, but it's like kind of mid. I was looking at their schedule earlier today. I think the Buccaneers are probably going to finish like 10-7 or 11-6. I think they
Bucks
have
are 5-5. They are right at 500, but they're still in first place in NFC South because the division is poverty.
Buccaneers are 5-5. I would guess. I think they're going to finish like 10-6 or 10-7, 11-6. They probably lose 1 or 2 more games, and then the rest of their games are decently easy. I think they're going to sneak their way into the playoffs and possibly make some noise. I wouldn't want to play them in the divisional round. I really hope we don't have to, or the wild card round, I guess, for that matter. However, it might shape up. I would not want to face this team in the playoffs. Let's just put it that way. And I do think they're going to find their way in. And Tom Brady, I'm not going to bet against him right now. Right now. I might later, but right now, I'm wary of that. Feels high for how bad this team has been at times, but I really think this team is going to sneak up on some people this year in the remainder of this season and possibly in the playoffs. Number 12. Top 12 teams I feel like are the good teams. We got through the bad teams and the kind of middle of the road teams. Every team from here on out I think is good. Not as good as some people might think some of these teams are, but I think these top 12 teams are good. The Seattle Seahawks. I had this team in the 30s. 29, because I kept them out of the bottom 3. I had this team at 29 going into the year. People are giving me crap for that because I like the Seahawks. They're my second favorite team, and people are like, "How could you actually say?"
Obligated to be biased towards them. Let's be real, y'all.
I actually do like the Seahawks, though. Rambo likes to say I don't actually like them. I do actually like them. He's a fake Cowboys fan, so he doesn't get a say. Ooh. Point is, I got some heat for having the Seahawks so low that I didn't believe in them, and that's because I didn't believe in them. But I'll tell you what. I don't know if it's comeback player of the year. I know the NFL doesn't have a most improved player of the year, but sometimes comeback player of the year can mean that. It's Geno Smith. Geno Smith has above and beyond outperformed what anyone thought he was capable of. I don't care who you are. You cannot tell me you expected this coming from Geno Smith after all those years with the Jets and I think the Giants. He spent a lot of years being bad in New York. Let's just put it that way. This is the best Geno Smith we've seen in the NFL, and no one saw that coming. Kenneth Walker, rookie running back, has been awesome. I knew he'd be awesome, or at least I really believed and hoped he'd be awesome, because I loved him at Michigan State. This team has just clicked in a way that we didn't expect. And it really is crazy how Russell Wilson, who to the public has seemed like such like a stand-up, good relations guy, it really seems like he was like the thorn in that locker room. Getting him out of there just made everything kind of click and gel more than it had in the last several recent years. So Seattle has completely outdone themselves this year. I would like to see them keep going. Really like to have them at 12. At 11, I had this team quite a bit higher, but I just can't shake the feeling. This team is fraudulent, especially after their recent loss. The Giants are much better than what I thought and many thought they would be. But they are not 7-3 good. They are not second in the NFC East. They are not going to be a playoff team beyond the wild card round if they make it even there. Saquon Barkley. This has been a great year, comeback year for Saquon Barkley. He is very good. No doubting that. Daniel Jones. He is not piss poor poverty worse than the league, but he is not a great quarterback. He is, I think higher of Daniel Jones than most people, but he is not that good. But he's good enough for them to play a time of possession style of football where they run it a lot, they hold on to the ball, low scoring games, they grind out wins. Their wins are pretty low scoring, but I don't think that takes away from their wins that have been definitely in control and pretty dominant. Some people are like, oh, the Giants won like 17-14 or 17-10. They didn't win by that much. Yet if you watch the games, it's pretty clear that the Giants were in control the whole time. All that to say, I'm trying to be nice and talk them up where it's deserved. All that being said, the Giants are not going to keep that up. When the Giants are chips down, having to play a good team in like a playoff situation, I don't think they have a shot. And I think they're going to get, not necessarily calling a blowout, but it's going to be pretty clear after Thursday, Thanksgiving, where they stand in the NFC East. I got them at 11th in the league. At number 10, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals. I had them at like 9 at the start of the year, I believe. I had them at 9. And then at a point in the year, I would have dropped them down in the mid-high 20s. But this team has kind of scratched and clawed their way back. Joe Burrow was a turnover merchant the first few weeks of the year with all these interceptions, but they cleaned that up. Joe Mixon. Holy crap. I've always known he is pretty good, but I didn't give him enough credit because Joe Mixon has been a beast this year. Jamar Chase is still very good. The Bengals' offensive line, I still think, is the weak point, although I would say they've tightened the reins a bit since the start of the year. Start of the year was just awful. That was almost like a Super Bowl hangover in itself, just from going to the Super Bowl. But they have not plummeted as bad as the Rams have. They looked really bad and shaky, and then kind of tied it together a little bit and have stabilized a bit. I do still think the Bengals are pretty good. I don't think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl or anything. I don't think they have a shot in the AFC this year, but I didn't think that last year either. So, who knows? Anything is possible. I think the Bengals still have a good team, a good young team. I think they're going to be kind of hanging around as a question mark team in the AFC for the foreseeable future, but I don't think they got it. At number 9, I've got the Tennessee Titans. This is a team I was sleeping on at the beginning of the year. I think I had them at like 19 before the season started, and I'm happy to say, even though they got blown out by the Bills early, they had some problems early, I'm happy to say that the Titans are now sitting, I believe, are they 6-4, 7-3, 7-3?
Ooh, I think they're 7-3. Yeah.
Point is, the Titans have had a good year. Treylon Burks, he was injured for a few weeks. I mentioned Treylon Burks. He was their first round pick. He went to Arkansas. Obviously, we are massive Treylon Burks fans here. He was really quiet for a while, but he just had a massive game, and I think there's going to be a big momentum shift for him. Derrick Henry has picked up some steam as well. I'm really happy to see the Titans doing well, and I would like to see them get another dub coming up this week. I do really like the Titans. They're one of my favorite teams. And yeah, they've been kind of a question mark for me most of the year, but they've picked up some steam, and I'm glad to see that. Number 8. Earlier in the stream, in a different segment, I said that the Ravens, I think, are the worst of the really good teams. The Ravens are 7-3. They've had a couple of bad losses they shouldn't have had, but they've also snuck in a couple of wins that maybe they shouldn't have had. Here's the deal about the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, definitely top. Let me be careful with my words here. Easily top 5 for me in the MVP conversation. If we're talking about that, we don't need to get into a huge deal about this. Maybe in a future segment we might. Top 5 in no particular order, so this is not the order I'd rank them necessarily. I think top 5 for MVP right now would be Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Tua, and Jalen Hurts. In no particular order, those would probably be my top 5 MVP candidates. Some of those I don't really like to say, but that's probably what I would say. Point is, for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is awesome. He's amazing. He's a beast. He needs to get paid. I think he's going to get paid eventually. I just hope it's something that they can agree on and he can be in this league for a long time because he is special. He is awesome. Problem is with the Ravens, Lamar Jackson does not have nearly enough help. Lamar Jackson is such a superstar. He's so good. And the Ravens are at 8. If they did not have Lamar Jackson, if they had any mid to bad quarterback, I don't know how low this team would be. Lamar Jackson is keeping them afloat, and they are complimented here and there. Their defense, I think, has underperformed at times in the year, but also been pretty solid at other times. Their offense, their running backs, what's his name? I forget his name. One of the running backs.
They're rolling with Kenyon Drake right now.
That's who I'm thinking of. Kenyon Drake has been pretty good. He's had some really good games. Mark Andrews is still fantastic. In my opinion, Mark Andrews is right now the second best tight end in the league behind Travis Kelce. Right now. Now, there are arguments to be made at times for like Waller or Kelce. Not Kelce.
Not
Waller or Kittle.
Not Waller anymore.
Yeah, Waller sucked this year, but like before this season, I could have seen
Aaron Waller was my guy, and then he fell off. That was sad to see. That was a massive drop-off that I didn't see coming at all.
Yeah. Point is, Mark Andrews is a superstar. Lamar Jackson is a superstar. Kenyon Drake, that's who we just said, right? He's been pretty good, but I just need to see more from the Ravens. Yes, they have a good record, and I think they're going to be a good team, a good playoff team, but I need to see some more before I really buy in on this team. I think they need a couple more pieces to be a great team. Number 7. You want to talk about a fraudulent team? How about the Minnesota Vikings? 8-1 before last week. They got smacked, clapped, bapped 40-3 by them Dallas Cowboys after they got a Mickey Mouse win. Okay, it's not a Mickey Mouse win. But, yes, Justin Jefferson had a fantastic catch. I do want to speak on that catch. Anyone who says that is a better catch than Odell's catch, you are just wrong. Factually incorrect. You're dumb, stupid, stinky poo-poo head if you make that take. Because it's wrong. Yes, it was one-handed. We can't analyze this right now. We're talking about the teams. But on that catch, Justin Jefferson didn't even really make the catch on his own. The freaking defender caught it for him and then just set it in his hand. Yes, it's contested. Yes, it was 4th and 18. Yes, as far as the situation, it was probably a bigger game. It was easily a bigger game changer because the Giants even lost that game that Odell made that catch. Yes, the Vikings don't win that game without that catch. So for that reason, it's a more significant catch as far as the outcome of the game. But if you're just talking about the skill of that catch, it's not better than Odell's. It's just not. If you're talking about just the catch and the talent, skill, impressiveness of the catch, it's not. If the
I think
defender,
you have to make a video on this.
I might.
So that you can explain yourself further, because people are not going to like that.
Lance saying, he did rip it out of the guy's hands, but not even really. I wouldn't say he ripped it out of the guy's hands. If the Bills defender is not there, Justin Jefferson does not make that catch. Doesn't. The defender essentially caught it for him. And then with the shock, impact of them falling to the ground, the guy just kind of let go of the ball, and it was just in Justin Jefferson's hand. Yes, he held onto it with his wrist like that. I'm not saying it's not an impressive catch. It's an extremely impressive catch. It's one of the all-time best catches. Odell's is easily better, though. So when I see people saying, oh, Justin Jefferson's better, it's not. That's my whole point. Justin Jefferson's catch is definitely one of the best catches we've seen. I'm not arguing that, but it's not Odell's. And anyone saying that, wrong. Point is, Vikings started with an amazing record. Lurk Cousins, freaking fried quarterback. I kind of hope my WGP pick is wrong and he can just flake out in prime time again. They got Dalvin Cook, they got Justin Jefferson, they got really good pieces, but the Vikings were not as good as their 8-1 record showed, and they should not have beat the Bills. They had the Justin Jefferson catch, then they had like the fumbled Josh Allen snap. As I said earlier, no one left that game thinking the Vikings were a better football team than the Bills. I don't think they did. If they did, they were wrong. Point is, the Vikings are good, and they've got a team. But some very much needed brake pumping has happened recently for the Vikings and might continue. All right. I don't know if you've been able to tell. You might have. My throat has been straining this like entire segment, but we're pushing through. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins. Now, if we did this segment early in the year, this team jumped up to like 4th for me. Then they dropped a lot. Problem is, what the problem was Tua being out and all of that stuff. This team, I believe, is undefeated 7-0 with a healthy Tua starting. They were 0-3 when Tua was out with injury. That is insane. That's one of the reasons I said Tua is in my top 5 MVP candidates. Because if a team is 7-0 with you and 0-3 without you, that speaks volumes, especially when you're the quarterback. That's insane. The Dolphins have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I really, really, really like Raheem Mostert, who's been having a pretty good year. The Dolphins, I love seeing the Dolphins be a good team. They're a team kind of like the Lions, a bad team that I've wanted to see be good for a long time and are finally on their way there. Now, the Dolphins are actually a good team. The Lions are not there yet. But I like to see the Dolphins be good. And I don't think it's going to happen. There's a few teams I would pick coming out of the AFC first. But I could genuinely see a realistic scenario in which this team makes the Super Bowl. I will not be surprised if this team makes it to the AFC Championship or if they're in the big game. I would love to see the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to do it. I still would take the Chiefs and Bills over them in the playoffs, but I will not be shocked and would like to see them make the Super Bowl. I got the Dolphins at 6. At number 5. Hate to say it because I absolutely hate the 49ers. I don't know why. I just do. There's something about the 49ers pisses me off. But they are very good. They added Christian McCaffrey. If they had any quarterback besides Jimmy Garoppolo, this team would probably be like 2 for me. Problem is, they got Jimmy Garoppolo. But if you give Jimmy Garoppolo, if you give Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, they're not really using him that much, but he's got Kittle. He's got Deebo Samuel. He's got Christian McCaffrey. He's got a fantastic defense. This team is so good everywhere except their mid at quarterback. But when your entire team is good, and you've got a decent enough quarterback, that's kind of enough. This team is very good. What were you about to say, Czar?
So, the McCaffrey-less 49ers, where are you putting that squad? From earlier in the season, where would you have put them? Because as soon as McCaffrey landed in the Bay Area, everybody went from mid to poverty to Super Bowl contenders within the span of an hour. Like, even the guys on Thursday Night Football were like, "Ooh, the 49ers are coming out of the NFC West," and we're like, "Dog, where did that come from?" So I wondered if you have that same kind of mindset or if you had to wait for a little bit.
I would not say it was the moment they traded for McCaffrey. That was definitely interesting. But when they traded for McCaffrey, I did not immediately think, oh, that team's immediately going to be really good. I needed to see some proof first. What it is for me is that we've seen them with Christian McCaffrey now improve a lot, and that's what's been massive. So before that, I probably would have had them behind the Ravens, so at like 8 or 9. But since they got McCaffrey and have improved, and I've seen them like get better and implement that, I got them at 5. Let's get into the top 4. I'll tell you. I am a man who faced lots of temptation to throw this team even higher. But at number 4, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot think of another team in the NFL with a better defense, which is not something I ever thought I would say about the Dallas Cowboys in my entire life. My like
That's
biggest
facts.
frustration with the Cowboys from like 2014 to like 2000 now was that our defense was just not it. Last year and this year though, our defense has been so much fun. I honestly, this is kind of bad. I think I enjoy I've never felt this way about football ever. I enjoy watching our defense more than our offense. And our offense is not bad by any
Oh
means.
wow, chat.
But
That's a big deal. He is very offensive.
I am an offensive-minded person. But this Cowboys defense, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, I know those are the guys I always point to. But then you got DeMarcus Lawrence. You've got all those dudes on the pass rush. Just so good. I didn't
Finger
even...
licking good. Shout out to Michael Irvin.
I had toyed with a segment for this midseason special that we might like do midseason awards. I ended up not really pushing for that. We might talk about MVP later. But really, it's like I just knew I'd have to talk about Micah Parsons, and y'all don't need it. Y'all don't want to hear that probably because Micah Parsons is just that guy. All of the people on our pass rush and just everyone on the defense is benefiting from Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is what's making it happen, and that's just the facts. It's just true. Yes, DeMarcus Lawrence is good. Yes, these other guys are good, but they're producing how they're producing because Micah Parsons is a special legend. Lance with the okay, we get it. I took out the Defensive Player of the Year segment because I knew I'd just be me gushing over Micah Parsons the whole time. Tony Pollard is an amazing running back. He's better than Ezekiel Elliott. I love Zeke. I'm wearing a Zeke jersey right now. I think Zeke is still a very qualified starting caliber running back in this league, but not over Pollard. We saw it though. Pollard rushed all the way down the field, got to a goal line situation, ran it up the middle 2 or 3 times, didn't get it. You put in Zeke, he gets it. Now, I think Zeke might have gotten a little bit of a better scheme on that run up the middle play call on that goal line situation than Pollard might have been getting. But Zeke is definitely better in short yardage situations, I would say. But Pollard's just explosiveness and ability to break open home run plays is just unmatched. And just so invaluable. You can't replace it. I don't think they're ever going to officially name Pollard the starter over Zeke, but I definitely think that Pollard will get either even snaps / rushing attempts or more than Zeke. I don't think Zeke is going to rush more than Pollard all the rest of the year, but I don't think they're going to officially name Pollard the starter either. I think Pollard's going to be the starter, the number one guy, but Zeke is just still going to be the starter who gets the primary initial reps. That's kind of what I'm seeing happening. Dak played amazing last week. Dak has his games, his up games, his down games, but man, stuff on this team is just starting to click, and there is a real shot. We end up landing Odell Beckham Jr., which will just elevate this offense to a whole nother level.
Ooh. Man, that'd be fun. Please win on Thanksgiving. So
why not the Parsons jersey? Lice, this is the 9th episode of the KyroCast and the first that I've not worn the Parsons jersey. So my rate for the Parsons jersey is still massive. But it's Thanksgiving week. Got the throwback jersey on, and I just felt like wearing this one. I love the Cowboys. I love having them at number 4. I almost threw them at 3. But that might have been a little bit hasty, so I didn't. At number 3, a team I had number 1 for so long, the Buffalo Bills. I had them at number 1 at the start of the year. They could make it back to number 1 before the end of the year. But right now, they've had a couple of slump games, especially that loss to the Vikings that they just really dipped for me. I say really dipped. They were just easily the number 1 team for me, and now I have them at 3. So, is what it is for the Bills. Josh Allen, he is still great. He was like my undisputed MVP for a long time. He still could get it, but right now, I don't think I'd have him for MVP over Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and maybe one of the other 2 guys. Talk about MVP. I think Josh Allen is better than every quarterback in the league except Patrick Mahomes. But as far as MVP, most valuable player, it's not just best quarterback award. It seems like that. It's usually just most valuable quarterback, but that doesn't mean best quarterback. I think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league. I would have said that before the season. I would have said it last season. I'm saying it this season. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, undoubtedly. And Josh Allen is undoubtedly second. However, I wouldn't say that necessarily makes him most valuable. Point is, Bills are still very good. Their offense, explosive. It's awesome. Their defense, very solid. Not like top, but very, very solid. Von Miller has been awesome. Bills are still extremely good and definitely a top 2 team in the AFC. I have them at number 3 in the league right now, though. They can easily bump back up by the end of the year. They're still a Super Bowl contender. Might even be someone's Super Bowl favorite. Very well could be. I would not be shocked at all if this team wins the Super Bowl. Because this team, the whole year, has been the team. But there are 2 teams that currently, I would say, are more the team than the Bills. And as much as it pains me to say,
There's no
doubt that right now the number 2 team in the league is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now their one loss is to those beautiful Washington Commanders, and I am so excited. I truly believe. If you're laughing like they should be 1, you're so wrong. This is not.
Of course, he couldn't do it.
This team is not
bias, and put.
It's not bias. I put them over the Bills. Dude. That's how you know I'm being legit.
On, man.
No.
I knew you were gonna do this.
This team is not better than the Chiefs. You're so crazy if you think this team is better than the Chiefs.
They haven't played each other.
This team lost to the freaking Commanders like last week.
The Chiefs lost to the Colts.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh my god.
Every team will have their off weeks, okay? It happens. This team is great. This team is very good. But they're narrowly beating the Colts. They're losing to the Commanders. They're narrowly beating a lot of these teams. This team is going to run out of gas, run out of juice, and they are not. Mark my words. I'm not saying it's going to be the Cowboys. I'm not saying it's going to be anybody. This team is not making the Super Bowl. They might make the NFC Championship. The Eagles will not make the Super Bowl. When the chips are down, so kind of what I said to the Giants, but this team is obviously much better than the Giants. When the chips are down, they're having to play a tough, good team in the playoffs. They're not going to come out of it. It is not. I have them at 2. There's no way
to go to the Super Bowl. They're doing too well to go to the Super Bowl.
There's no way you actually think this team is better than the Chiefs. Spoiler alert, number 1 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football. I would have said it this whole time. He still is. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in football. Where's Travis Kelce on like the all-time tight end list? Some people are arguing him versus Gronk. Currently, I got Gronk as the best tight end ever. And then somewhere up there, I'd have like Tony G, a couple others. But Kelce's definitely, I would say, top 5, probably top 4, maybe top 3. Kelce's great. Patrick Mahomes is great. They can make every fast player they get great. Every year, they put a new fast player out there and make him look awesome. The Chiefs' defense is a little bit of a question mark for me, but the Chiefs' offense and just the Chiefs in general, they're well coached. Their players are amazing. And I wouldn't say undeservingly, but this team seems to just catch lucky breaks. I'm not talking about like calls or anything, although some people think they get too many calls. This team just like those like kind of like what in the world out of nowhere random football plays just seem to bounce the Chiefs away a lot. But this team, I don't care what anyone says, right now is the best team in the league. There's no way the Eagles are over them after how the Eagles have looked the last couple weeks. Yes, the Eagles were the number 1 team in weeks like 6 and 7 when they were undefeated and all this stuff. But after losing to the Commanders and then barely by 1 point with some late weird runs by Jalen Hurts to win by 1 point against the Colts, I'm not putting that team at number 1. I have them at 2, and that is way more respect than I probably should give these Eagles. Number 1 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are my final thoughts and statements. Rambo, you have 2 seconds to give your final thoughts, and this is the end of this segment.
Eagles 1, Chiefs will go to the Super Bowl and beat them if they play head-to-head, I think.
The Eagles are. How does that mean the Eagles are 1? How? You literally just said if they played. No. You just said if they played, the Chiefs would win, but the Eagles are 1. How does that make sense?
Based off what we've seen right now, I'm just saying I think if they did, I think it would turn the tables. But we're going off of right now, not with what would happen hypothetically in the future.
I said at the beginning of this list, I said this is how good I think teams are right now. I didn't say it's all about record, even though the Chiefs are 8-2.
Right now,
so what are you
I think
do?
Right now, this is wrong.
But But I disagree. Obviously, I disagree. But the fact that you think I'm biased to have
What
the
else is
Philadelphia
new?
Eagles at 2 is just wrong. Hey, Solo, thanks for the lurk. I'm gonna have to be number one when they're. I guess he's talking about the Chiefs getting calls or something.
Oh. I mean,
Anyways,
I guess that's another kind of break the Chiefs get. I don't know.
all
I
right,
haven't really seen it.
whatever. Those are all 32 teams in the NFL ranked through the first 11 weeks of the NFL season. A lot of things changed drastically from my preseason rankings, and a lot of things didn't change that much. Where will these teams be at the end of the year? I cannot wait to find out, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Oh my gosh, my throat is killing me. Do you want to talk to the stream, Rambo, or do you want to take another break?
Well, what other segments do you have? Because I think I could potentially put in some fillers.
So I wanted us to both predict the final four teams, so like the conference championship teams, and then the Super Bowl, and then who wins Super Bowl. So I want us to kind of predict how the last 2 weeks of real football go, and then after that, I really just have tier lists, so we could do like a quarterbacks tier list, running back tier list, defenses tier list, and then like just a teams tier list. And then, so just a bunch of tier lists after that we do the Final Four and Super Bowl predictions. And then it's just like a fun thing, not football related. We could do like a top 5 Thanksgiving foods draft because it's Thanksgiving week. So like we both are going back and forth picking our top 5 favorite Thanksgiving foods. But once one is picked, the other can't pick them. And then we let chat decide who has the better 5 foods. Anyways, that's like just a bonus thing at the end.
I can filibuster for a short second while you let your throat kind of rest up.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get some water. I'll be back in probably 3 or 4 minutes. And then when we get back, me and Rambo are both going to predict who the final 4 teams will be and who's going to the Super Bowl. And who wins.
Sweet. All right. Yep, make sure we put a command and get a... Can we put a hydrate in here? Where's a hydrate? I'm going to pay 69 Kyro coins for a hydrate. There you go. It's always important to stay hydrated throughout the day. Also for optimal throat health. So there you go. Okay. Chat. Now that KyroCast is gone, I'm going to show some love to people that we haven't really shown a lot of love to. And it's the head coaches. Listen, I think it's time for me personally to pick my 2020. All right, so KyroCast is gone. He's going to go chug some water. As I was saying before, let me recap. We've been doing kind of a mid-season special. I want to show some love to people that haven't really gotten a lot, and it's the head coaches. So I kind of created my own little award that I did not think KyroCast would make for himself. So I wanted to recognize my 2022 NFL Personality of the Year. Personality is a broad term. It can be an analyst, a commentator, a player, a coach, an official, a front office guy. Who gives a dang? It could be anybody. But y'all, I've really been enjoying the Miami Dolphins this season for multiple reasons. Tyreek Hill is fun to watch. Jalen Waddle, it's fun to watch him waddle after a touchdown, after he's scorching defenses. Tua, he's been fun to watch. Everybody was hating on my guy Tua. I was like, just give him a shot. And guess what? He's taking deep shots down the field and scoring touchdowns. But there's something that everybody's missing, unless you're one of the NFL meme lords, and then you really get it. Mike McDaniel. Can we take a second to appreciate the greatness of one Mike McDaniel? This guy, offensive mastermind in San Francisco. He leaves. I have never heard of this guy in my life. Gets hired to coach the Miami Dolphins, a franchise that can never seem to get over the hump, at least in my lifetime. Can't seem to get over the hump, and they hire this guy who he's not the biggest guy. He's kind of small, kind of short. He has big glasses, massively slicked back hair, and has an incredible sense of humor. In his introductory press conference, I immediately knew this was going to be a wild ride. And y'all, Broncos country could not have anticipated a ride like this. Mike McDaniel has been my favorite person to keep up with the entire season because he is just freaking hilarious and nobody can deny it. I challenge everybody in chat, watch a Mike McDaniel press conference and just like I don't even know. The dude just does not strike me as a football coach at all. He kind of reminds me of myself, except like a little smaller. He he's just so fun. He's fun. His offense is absolute heat. His defense ain't half bad either. They win games. They find ways to win tough ones, even against the Buffalo Bills. I mean, give Mike McDaniel some credit. He had a tough situation. Everybody thought that Tua was going to throw a bunch of balls in the dirt. And Tyreek Hill was like, ooh, Tua's going to be good. And all the casuals were like, oh no, Tua can't throw. He's short. He's left-handed. He can't throw the ball more than 20 yards. Mike McDaniel had to deal with all that. And he's like, listen, I'm going to be here. If a quarterback on the opposing team is just kind of dominating us, I have the ultimate game plan. I'm just going to walk over to him and tell him to stop. Tell him to stop scrambling. Tell him to stop throwing the ball. And if he doesn't, oh well, we'll go from there. For a coach to talk like that and actually win games, I have never seen anything like it. Mike McDaniel is a wild card. He's one of a kind. He is an anomaly from what I've observed about the coaching profession. So shout out to Mike McDaniel because the man is a national treasure and he must be protected at all costs for the sake of the coaching profession, for the sake of the game of football, and for the sake of dudes that are nerdy looking and wear glasses like me. Let's be real. Welcome back, KyroCast. I just went on an insanely long rant about the greatness of Mike McDaniel down in Miami because he is a legend.
He is a good dude. I think he's a good coach.
Have you seen any of his press conferences?
I have. They're pretty good. He's like
I
a
told him to
socially
just
awkward, like...
stop scrambling, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy, like, he's incredible. If he wasn't winning games, he would not be my personality of the year. But to have that personality while still winning and having a 7-3 record in the AFC East, that speaks volumes, especially when you have to compete with the Bills. And even like the new look Jets, who like didn't look terrible starting off. So shout out to Mike McDaniel, shout out to Miami. If they go to the Super Bowl, which we kind of alluded to earlier, how it's a possibility. If they do go to the Super Bowl, I would be pretty happy. And I'd be wearing orange and teal on Super Bowl Sunday. Unless they're playing the Cowboys, of course. But just saying.
He says, of course. I don't know if I believe that.
Ooh. Are you questioning my motives?
Questioning your validity of being a Cowboys fan. When am I not questioning that, though?
Anyway. Alright, so there's my little filibuster. I just want to talk about Mike McDaniel because he's awesome. Did I sound like a Mike McDaniel stan? Probably, but it's okay.
It is okay. All right.
Yo.
Trying to find a current...
chat? What's up?
Yo, what up, Wendo? How's it going, man? Good to see you, bro. It's been a minute, dude.
Steelers are trash. But
oh, shut up,
stopping by.
Czar. Leave the man be. Trying to find a good playoff picture, like a good bracket for us to talk about, but it's fine. All right. Let's just go into this. Rambo, we are making predictions right now so that at the end of the year, we can look back. Thank you for the congrats, Wendo. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, shut up, Rambo. And Rambo in chat.
Alright. I'm gonna
Windows got
pull.
that pink diamond, that VIP badge. It's sexy. I appreciate the congrats, Window. Thank you so much. All right, Rambo. We are going to predict the final 4 teams, as well as who makes the Super Bowl and who wins. So we're predicting who's making the conference championship, who's winning that game on each side, and who's winning the Super Bowl. So that at the end of the year, we can look back to right now and see, were we able to predict months in advance what these Super Bowl teams would be. Now, there are definitely some favorites, so let's just talk through it. So, I don't know. Should you go first? Should I go first? Do you already have your teams set in your mind?
So we're
If you need to
picking the
think about it-
conference. So we're picking the conference championship teams, right?
Yes, we're picking the top 2 teams in the NFC that'll make that game, and the 2 teams in the
There is
AFC.
there is no amount of analysis I could put into this before I'm feeling confident with my picks. So I might just say screw it and go for it.
Okay. I know. I definitely. Here, who should go first? Let's start
I'll-
NFC.
I'll go AFC. I can go first so you have time because you're gonna put more thought into this than me. Let's be real. Well, I mean, like I said before, though, chat, I know ball. I can come up with this stuff on the fly.
AFC is harder for me to make a good prediction. I know who I think is making it in the NFC. I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. I'll just go ahead and say this. Will the Cowboys break the 27-year drought? Listen, I don't like to jinx things, so I should just not say anything. But here's what I will say. I will forgive Mike McCarthy of all sins committed against the Cowboys if we make the NFC Championship. And I don't know if there's a universe. I get confused on how division stuff works. I don't know if it's legitimately possible for us to play the Eagles in the NFC Championship. So I'm not going to predict that. But
it totally is.
Is it?
The Rams and 49ers played each other in the NFC Championship last year.
Oh, I guess they did.
So, yeah,
that
it's
would
100% possible.
There could be
3 teams from the same division in the playoffs.
Yes, I know that much, but it would be a historic, massive, legendary legacy game if the Cowboys played the Eagles in the NFC Championship. That's not what I'm predicting, though. Call me a hater if you want. I do think the Eagles are going to flake out in the playoffs. The Cowboys very well could too, because that's what we always do, but something about this year literally feels different. I know, Cowboys fans, the Cowboys are going to be good this year. Genuinely, here's what my prediction is for how this is going to go. In the NFC Conference Championship, I'm predicting the Cowboys are going to make the Conference Championship, and I am going to predict they will be playing the 49ers. I think it'll be a rematch of last year's wild card round where the Cowboys... Was it wild card or divisional? I think it was wild card. It was wild card. Last year's wild card matchup where the 49ers upset the Cowboys. They should not have won that game. I think it's going to be a rematch of that game. Cowboys versus 49ers in the conference championship. That's my prediction. And genuinely, I really could see that matchup going either way. I'm going to say the Cowboys do it, though. I think a lot of the people in the Cowboys organization that have kind of laid down and flaked out in big moments have either fizzled out or changed their ways. This Cowboys team feels different. It really does. It doesn't feel like any other team that I've watched before. Our best teams since I've been watching have been the 2014 team and the 2016 team, which were Romo and Dez's best year, and then Dak and Zeke's rookie year when they were great. This team this year feels much more solid and well-rounded than either of those teams. Both of those teams I just mentioned, 2014, 2016, had very good high-powered offenses that were kind of streaky, but were winning games, and defenses that were kind of middle of the road, not terrible, but not great. This team, the offense is the less good part for once, but that's because the defense is amazing. They're fantastic. But on the offensive side, yes, we've got great weapons. Our running back duos have been really good. Our offensive line is getting better than they were at the start of the year. but there's still a little bit of a question mark and a streakiness to the Cowboys offense. That being said, I am going to predict the Cowboys play the Niners in the conference championship, and the Cowboys go on to the Super Bowl. Rambo, NFC, what's your prediction?
Okay. I do not have the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game.
That's okay. Can't really blame you.
For my NFC Championship, I have got the Eagles and the 49ers. With the 49ers taking the W.
Chat, I just want to point out, notice how Rambo predicted the same thing as me, except the Eagles over the Cowboys. And he's wearing green. This man is a spy. I've been saying it all year.
Chat, green's my favorite color. It's been my favorite color since I was a kid. I mean,
Eagles fan.
It's the wrong green. Come on, bruh.
Their throwback jerseys are that color.
Do I think the Cowboys are going to go to the playoffs and get bounced the first week? No, I actually don't. A lot of people are going to be like, just wait. They're going to pull a Stephen A. Smith. Just wait. How do you do? I don't subscribe to that thinking. But I don't think they'll make the NFC Championship. I think they'll win I think they will win a wild card matchup. Which, oh man. The Cowboys, I don't know. The Cowboys, actually, let me give you this. The Cowboys, this is going off of them not winning the division. I don't think they're going to win the division. If they do win the division, if they beat the Eagles here in the next couple weeks and they win out, that would be interesting.
I'll tell you this. I think the Eagles win the division either way. I think the Cowboys will win Christmas Eve. But I think the Eagles will still take the division. But regardless, I was making my pick as if the Cowboys weren't the division winner.
I think if the Cowboys do win the division, they get a first round bye.
I don't really trust us off a bye.
Well, obviously the Packers' loss was off a bye. It depends on who.
And our 2016, we had a bye and then lost to the Packers.
Oh, it depends on who we face. So, I mean, well, with the way the defense has played this season, I think this could be a little bit of a different story. Because even when Dak and Zeke were beasting and feasting their rookie season, the defense was at best, because that's how the Cowboys operated until this year. So
yeah,
I'm going to roll with the Eagles and 49ers still, but I have the 49ers winning and going to the Super Bowl.
Gotcha. And I've got the Cowboys. All right, moving over to the AFC. This is where it gets tough for me. Really, I feel like it's between... Gosh, it's so tough. Okay, so playoff picture right now. These are the teams in the AFC that would make the playoffs today. Chiefs, Dolphins, Titans, Ravens, Bills, Patriots, Bengals. All of those teams besides the Patriots, I can actually see making the conference championship. I'm going to say not the Bengals, though. So take out Patriots and Bengals. Bills, Ravens, Titans, Dolphins, Chiefs. All five of those teams, I can 1,000% see making the AFC championship. I'm going to say, don't get mad, not the Titans, because I don't think that Tannehill offense is going to be able to make a push. I'm going to say
Titans aren't going to make it.
So for me, it's like the Titans and Ravens have the opposite problems. I'm going to say not the Ravens either. The Titans, I don't think their quarterback is good enough. The Ravens, their quarterback is the only thing that's really good enough. I feel like the Ravens don't have enough pieces outside of Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews and them to make the AFC championship. So that leaves it down, for me, the Chiefs, Dolphins, and Bills. Obviously, before the season started, at the end of last year, even this year, I want to say it's going to be Chiefs-Bills. That's what I want to see. Tannehill went off in Green Bay, but he'll choke in the playoffs. That's kind of what I feel like. I want to say it's going to be Chiefs-Bills, but the Dolphins are really, like, poking at me like they're going to do something. I could totally see the Dolphins making the Super Bowl. But can I see the Dolphins beating either the Chiefs or the Bills in a playoff game with Tua and some other young guys and a young coach? I'm going to say no. So I'm going to say, I would have predicted this at the beginning of the year. The Dolphins very well could do it. I'm going to say the AFC Championship is Chiefs-Bills. And I got to tell you, I really think the Chiefs are going to win that. I know the Bills beat them in their last matchup in the regular season. Here's the thing. There was the Chiefs-Bills game last year. Insane playoff game. Everyone knows about it. And then the Josh Allen and the Bills didn't get the ball in overtime after Josh Allen was perfect in the playoffs. The Bills had their revenge game against the Chiefs, but it wasn't as good of a revenge game as I think they needed. So they got their win on the Chiefs and kind of exhaled a little bit. I think the Chiefs take it if they play again in the playoffs. I'm going Chiefs-Bills in the AFC Championship, and the Chiefs move on to the Super Bowl against the Cowboys.
A Chiefs and Cowboys Super Bowl
That's what I want more than anything.
would be gnarly.
Those are like my favorite teams besides the Seahawks, obviously. But
if the Chiefs and Cowboys made the Super Bowl,
Chiefs
that
are
would
my
be
those are my
that would be the most awesome Super Bowl ever.
It's crazy because those are my favorite teams in each conference, obviously. So I sound like a stupid blind fanboy, but literally looking at these teams, that's what seems the most very plausible to me. I don't know if the Cowboys coming out of the NFC is the most plausible or most likely, but I really feel like that could happen. And Chiefs, I do feel like is the most likely. I'm saying it's a Chiefs-Cowboys Super Bowl. Who you got in the conference championship of the AFC?
Well, real quick, Lance, I don't want a Titans-Cowboys Super Bowl because either way, I kind of lose. If Traylon Burks went to the Super Bowl and lost, I would be kind of sad. Even if it was to the Cowboys, a part of me would still feel sad. So,
but if the Titans won, he'd be happy because he doesn't even like the Cowboys.
Well, no, because I want the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl before I die. But I don't know. There would be a few conflicts there, albeit small. But there would be one, and I'd want no conflicts. So I'd much rather have a Chiefs Cowboys Super Bowl. Okay, AFC. So yeah, I've kind of got it narrowed down to my last three: Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills. I feel like the Dolphins could be a wild card if they keep it up and they keep Tua healthy. If they have, I feel like if they leave one I undotted, one T uncrossed, things could derail very quickly. It's almost, I don't know. They're doing good, but they're the Dolphins historically, and I'm wondering if there's like a tiny part of their 4-game win streak right now is just too good to be true.
My pause and hesitance with the Dolphins is that they're kind of too good too fast. Like, they're too young of a team to be that good and be that sturdy in the playoffs, especially when they haven't been a playoff team in so long. That's my pause with the Dolphins. They have the talent. I just don't think they have the experience to better the Bills or the Chiefs. I mean, the Dolphins could even lose to, like, the Titans or Ravens. I just don't know.
Oh, the Dolphins wouldn't lose to the Ravens. The Dolphins would beat the Ravens again, I think. The Ravens are not. The Ravens might pose a threat because they had a lead on the Dolphins, but what do the Ravens do with leads? Exactly. So
a lot of time that's gone by since that week 3 matchup. That's all I'm saying.
I will say, since I don't know, just to kind of make it interesting, and I do think this is a possibility. I will roll with the Dolphins and dang.
I really got an inkling of what I thought you were going to say. I really thought I knew what you were going to say, but then you stopped.
I'm going to roll with the Dolphins and the Bills.
That's
in
what
the
I thought
AFC
you were going to say.
Championship.
I like that a lot. I really do.
Bruh.
The Dolphins and the
Lance
Bills.
immediately with a bruh in response to that. That was perfect timing.
If the Bills, I don't know. The Chiefs, we have seen them fall now. Years prior, the Chiefs looked invincible. The Chiefs, we have seen the Chiefs fall to the Bengals. The Bengals last year are a lot like the Dolphins this year, except the Dolphins are slightly older, slightly.
And better.
You could probably, yeah. This year's Dolphins against last year's Bengals, I could probably put the Dolphins over them. So, Dolphins and Bills. The Dolphins have beaten the Bills once. They have to play each other again, and they're playing in Orchard Park, I think. So, real quick, just let's kind of make this interesting, chat. When do the Dolphins and Bills play in Orchard Park? December 18th. Boy, howdy, that's going to be a cold one. So, the winner of that game that's going to be crucial to this being right or wrong. Because whoever has home field advantage is going to, well, have a massive advantage. I think the Dolphins, here's the thing. If the Dolphins lose to the Bills, I don't think they'll lose to the Bills twice in a row if they play. If they beat the Bills, they'll be playing in Miami, and the warm weather will be much better than the cold, wintry weather of Orchard Park, New York, where they'll have to play in just excruciating temperatures. Yeah, I'm the nerdy guy looking at the weather. I know, sue me. Give me the Dolphins and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Spicy.
Just
That
to
is
make it
definitely
interesting,
spicy.
because it is entirely possible.
It is possible. Another team I don't think will have a shot that we didn't really mention. I do think the Vikings might have a chance to dance around.
No. The Dolphins will not the Dolphins. The Vikings will not make the Super Bowl.
I don't
think
know
they'll
about
even make
Super
the
Bowl.
NFC
I was gonna say
Championship.
I could see them making the NFC Championship.
They're
No, I
not
don't think
going
they're gonna make
to.
the Super Bowl.
If they do make the NFC Championship, they're going to get plowed.
But other than the three teams we talked about, Cowboys, Eagles, Niners, I give the Vikings the next best chance, probably. Maybe, depending on how things go, like the Buccaneers or Seahawks or something. But I don't know. So that means, as far as the Super Bowl, I have the Chiefs versus the Cowboys as of today, and you have the 49ers versus the Dolphins. Now, who wins that game? I will say this. I love
if your scenario turns out to be correct, I won't be mad.
That would be my most anticipated Super Bowl ever. It would be Chiefs versus Cowboys. Now, obviously, with everything in my body, I'd be rooting for the Cowboys and all that. For the sake of prediction and trying to be, correct, I would say in that matchup, I'd say the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So I would say right now I'm predicting Chiefs versus Cowboys, and my life of heartbreak continues with the Chiefs Super Bowl. And Mahomes adds to his legacy. In my scenario, that's what I predict. And your 49ers versus Dolphins Super Bowl, battle of the Bay Areas. Battle of the sunshiny teams. Who you got?
Oh my gosh. That's a really hard one to pick.
That is a tough one, actually.
I
49ers are much older and more experienced, but the Dolphins are explosive.
Teams have won a Super Bowl with not incredible regular season records. When the Packers beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, their regular season record was 10-6. I believe one year when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think it was when I think actually both those Super Bowls I just mentioned were in Dallas.
Well, yeah, because it
Coincidence?
was
Maybe.
Giants versus Patriots when the Patriots were like undefeated up to the Super Bowl, and the Giants were
Oh,
like a
I'm
wild
talking
card team.
I'm talking about the next Super Bowl they faced off in. I think they played in Dallas. I think the Giants were 10-6 that year as well. If the 49ers right now are sitting at 6-4. It it's possible for them to not have the best regular season record, but just rely on all their talent and then uh it's possible for them to rely on all their talent and go get a Super Bowl off of it at the right time. You kind of see it a lot in baseball, but it can happen in football as well, where you just peak at the right time. So,
For sure.
Bengals and
Like the
Dolphins, that's
Bengals
so
last
tough.
year. 49ers, Dolphins, but Bengals is the peak team last
Oh,
year.
not Bengals, yeah, you're talking about Bengals. 49ers and Dolphins, shoot. I'd probably have to go with San Francisco.
Yeah, that's what I would say out of that matchup too.
I would be rooting for the Dolphins. If the Dolphins won the Super Bowl, I
Same.
would be so hyped.
I think
But
we're probably both.
I'd have to give it to San Francisco. I don't think they would go and annihilate Miami, but both teams are incredibly well-rounded. I think it comes down to the defensive side of the ball, and I think the 49ers have the
For
Dolphins
sure.
beat defensively.
Yeah.
That's not really close.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're in the same boat on both of those matchups. I'd be rooting for the Dolphins, so would you. I'd be rooting for the Cowboys, so would you. But I both think we think the teams they'd be facing in these scenarios would win. I think we both think Chiefs, Cowboys, Chiefs would win that. I think we both think 49ers, Dolphins, 49ers would win that. I like that,
Yeah.
though. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Our Super Bowl predictions. As for right now, my pick for the Super Bowl champions of this season is the Kansas City Chiefs, and Rambo's pick is the San Francisco 49ers. It's extremely plausible we get a rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl between Chiefs and 49ers. If
Wouldn't
that
be something?
happens, that would be crazy because the Chiefs, I feel like, are about the level they were during that Super Bowl, and the 49ers, I feel like, are much better. So that would be crazy. But I'm going to say, yeah, Wendell agrees. I think the Chiefs are the Super Bowl winners this year, if I had to predict today. And Rambo is rolling with 49ers. Those are our Super Bowl predictions. Whew. How are you feeling, Rambo?
Feeling pretty good.
It's been quite the
I will
show.
say, interesting about that scenario, Chiefs and Niners, when they faced off, the 49ers didn't look very good, but they also didn't play Christian McCaffrey much. That was his 49ers debut, and he was learning the playbook.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey that is very knowledgeable about 49ers schemes. That's good 49ers philosophy acumen. That would be an interesting rematch.
For sure.
I still think the Chiefs would probably win, but they're not a shoe-in.
I don't know. That rematch, I think it'd be tough. Be
Which, I mean,
tough.
we didn't pick it, so it don't really matter, but
Yeah.
that would be an
Obviously, when it
interesting
comes down
scenario
to it, we'll be predicting that stuff.
that
But
is plausible. So, anyway, there you go. I'm rolling with it.
all right. So those were the major things I had on the agenda. I have a lot left. It is 10:30. So I'm a little tired, but we can still keep rolling if you're good to go. Next up, I just have a bunch of tier lists, and then that's about it. And then just a fun Thanksgiving foods draft. So what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Honestly, tell you what, if we want to say the tier list for like the end of the regular season, since I mean,
Okay.
over the midpoint way, if you don't want to sit here and like make your throat cry out for help.
I mean, I'm feeling all right now. I had a whole nother water bottle since then.
Well, honestly, Thanksgiving food sounds pretty good because I'm hungry. Once we
Mm.
get done with this, I'm fixing to go eat me some fried chicken in there in the kitchen.
So you want to go
So,
ahead and round out the episode with that?
show me the dead gum Thanksgiving food. Why
All
not?
right. All right. Here's how this is going to work. Here's how this is going to work. Let me open a new document here. Actually, I'll just do this.
I make a goated Thanksgiving. Oh, you don't understand.
ladies and gentlemen, to round out the Thanksgiving mid-season special NFL KyroCast live stream, we're going to move it a little bit away from the football and have a nice Thanksgiving-themed segment. So this is the Thanksgiving foods draft between me, KyroCast, and Rambo. This is how this will work. We will go back and forth drafting a Thanksgiving food. And so both of us have a team of 5. And then you guys will decide who has, or you can just give your input on who drafted the better team of Thanksgiving foods. That's it. We're both going to team of 5, top 5 Thanksgiving foods. But that's the thing. Whatever one of us picks, the other cannot pick. So if I really wanted, whatever it is, and Rambo picks it first, then I can't have it anymore. So that's how this will work. It's just a draft. Who's going to draft the better team of Thanksgiving foods? This shouldn't take very long at all. But here we go. Rambo. So it's all fair. We'll do a coin toss for who gets to go first with the first pick in the draft. So heads or tails, what you got?
Ooh, tails never fails. Give it to me.
Tails never fails, he says. I believe it is tails. So do you elect to
Well, I'll be dang.
receive the first pick, or do you want the second pick?
Oh, I want to receive it.
And it's a back and forth pick. It's not a snake draft, so it's 1-1-1-1-1. All right, Rambo.
I hope it's not a snake.
You have the first pick in the Thanksgiving foods draft. You get any Thanksgiving themed food you want. What food are you picking number 1 overall?
All right, so chat. I'm going to have an interesting take on this, but hear me out. Something that everybody can enjoy. All ages, whether you like Thanksgiving or not, whether you're super duper hungry or you just kind of want a snack and you're like, I just need to munch on something real quick. So that way I can feel like I'm part of the Thanksgiving festivities. Y'all, listen. I'm kind of like Liver King. I love to have my carbs. Put rolls as number 1 because a meal is not complete without bread.
Dang it.
Give me some rolls.
Dang it. That's a good pick. That might have been my pick if you didn't grab it.
Easy money.
That sucks. What a good first pick. Rolls is solid. That might have been my first pick. I have an easy top 3 for me, and rolls is on there. Dang it, dude. That's his RW. You're right.
Rolls are incredible.
Okay. I'm in a predicament here. Because I feel like there's a pick I have to take, but I don't. It's not the pick I would make. But as far as drafting the best Thanksgiving foods team, I feel like I gotta snag this one before it gets off the board like Rolls did. Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about either. You said like Liver King, and I was like, what the frick are you talking about?
Well, yeah, because he likes to have carbs.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the dude that uses all the steroids and eats some weird food.
I had no idea what you're talking about. I thought Liver King was a food, and that was your pick, and I was like, what are you doing?
Y'all need to look that dude up. He's a dork. But
anyways, okay. My first pick, second overall pick in the draft. It's not my first pick. In fact, I don't even like it all that much. But for drafting the best Thanksgiving food team, I feel like I have to pick turkey. I don't even like it that much, but I gotta pick turkey.
I respect the strategy. Here's the thing.
Mainly, I just know you are gonna pick turkey, and it's a good, solid pick. It's just not my favorite. All right.
My liking for turkey actually depends, because
Rambo, you're frozen.
Turkey is really dry. Turkey. Oh, what a terrible.
You're back.
Oh wait, there you go.
A lot of turkey's dry. I heard that.
That would have been a terrible thing to be frozen on. If turkey is not dry, it's better than ham. But turkey usually there's just nothing there, and so it's in your mouth, and you're like, "What am I eating?" All right. So since we're talking about foods that are dry, let's see. Number 2. Okay, I don't really know where to go with this one because now I have a lot of options. I took the easy top of the S tier and rolls, but I don't really know where to go from there. Do I need? Ooh, there's so many different strategies. Actually, you know what? Just to kind of balance it out and rival you, be your rival. Give me ham.
No!
Give me.
Gosh! I didn't realize what room I was in. I thought y'all hated ham. I guess I was just thinking about Lance, because Lance is like, oh, turkey all the way. So I was like, I wanted to pick ham first. I was going to pick ham. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get flamed if I pick ham. And Rambo probably isn't going to pick ham, because I didn't think he liked it. So I was like, I'll get ham second, because he's going to pick turkey. Let me just pick ham. I didn't realize everyone in here liked ham but Lance. I thought you all hated ham. I'm pissed.
So listen.
Ham would have been my number one by far. Even if I went first, I would have picked ham over rolls.
Okay, let me explain real quick. Yo, what's up, Parametus? We are drafting Thanksgiving foods because food is awesome. So, ham. I am not the biggest fan of ham. I eat ham probably like 4 times a year. Thanksgiving is one of those times. When you have family members that put the pineapple on the ham and it's all nice, it's juicy, and it melts in your mouth, and you get a good cut, y'all, it's pretty good.
Rambo, can I propose a trade?
Turkey that's not dry is still no.
I want to trade turkey for ham straight up.
Ooh. Okay, well, Parametus, you can't do too much pineapple. You have to do just a little bit.
All right, we're moving on. I'm
keeping ham.
Ham was my number one pick, but I didn't think you were going to pick it. So I was getting turkey off the board. I was trying to be smart and strategic. I'm pissed off.
Parametus, you're not entirely wrong. I don't really like pineapple itself. It's the flavoring of it. But pineapple is super sour, and I don't do well with sour stuff. So I agree with you somewhat.
I thought I was going to get flamed for picking... I thought I would get flamed for picking ham over turkey, but I guess that's just Lance that would have done that. Lice, I didn't even know you were in here. I know you love ham. I love ham. I would take ham over turkey every single day.
I don't know why the freak you took.
Thank you, Parametus. Pineapple on pizza sucks. I did it because I didn't think you'd pick ham. I thought you didn't like it for some reason. I thought you were a turkey guy.
I've never had pineapple on pizza.
I was trying to draft against you.
I ate a little bit of both. I try to share the wealth. So,
all right.
It's whatever.
I'm pissed. I let Lance cloud my mind.
I can tell.
Making me think everyone hated ham. Or at least like turkey
Lance.
more. All right. My second pick, 4th overall pick in the draft. I'm taking mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes so freaking much.
Who doesn't like mashed potatoes? You kidding me?
All right, this chat box is bothering me with it being right over the list. Okay. I got mashed potatoes, 4th overall pick, 2nd on my team. Rambo, your 3rd pick, 5th overall. What do you got?
Dang it, I really wanted them taters. KFC mashed potatoes. Okay, so. Okay, I feel like Thanksgiving meals can somewhat vary between how your family operates. I kind of have Thanksgiving with the same group of people every year, so I don't know. But a good side to have with your sweet, juicy ham that Kyro gets loved so much, and the good rolls with butter and/or honey butter.
I'm laughing at chat starting the chicken war up. All right, Ram, what's your pick?
Give me macaroni and cheese.
No! No, dude! Look! I don't know if you can see it. Lice just texted me. She literally just texted me, pick mac and cheese next. No way! I'm getting sniped! My picks are getting sniped!
Listen, it can't be too cheesy. It can't be like soupy. If it's too cheesy, it's not good. There's a fine line. And when you hit that fine line,
I know you can't see it.
Fire.
These messages are Lice telling me to pick macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
I'm malding, dude. My picks are getting sniped. literally, Rambo has my top 3 pick. When I said at the beginning, I have an easy top 3, it was ham, mashed potatoes, and rolls. And then 4th would have been macaroni. My whole team is sniped.
Oh my.
I'm seething. All right. We got to compose ourselves and hope Rambo chokes his last 2 picks and make a comeback here. Because I'm struggling right now. I should have picked ham. I don't know why I thought I had to pick turkey. That was a mistake. All right.
That's really bright. Good enough.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
All right, what you
This is an easy pick for me. I had a top 3, but my 4th and 5th were easy as well. Rambo's like the Eagles. Oh my gosh. He is a fan of the Eagles, so that does make sense. Oh gosh. Here we
Good
go.
window. Good.
All right. My next pick is easy. Corn. Personally, I'm going to say cream. For me, cream corn is amazing. Y'all may not know about cream corn like I do.
No.
Shut up, Rambo. Cream corn is amazing. That's how I prefer it, but I'm drafting corn in innocence. Corn.
Corn is not disgusting. Cream corn, I'm going to have to pass on that, dog. Oh my gosh, no.
I just like it creamed, Rambo. What's wrong with that? I like that Cobb creamy. Ayo.
Good.
I'll be honest with y'all, though.
night.
Kyro gets to find the perfect start to Thanksgiving for me. He's just more fun to troll. I'm glad I got mashed potatoes. That's a massive W. Getting mashed potatoes with the 4th overall pick is a steal. So I'll say that. I just like it creamed, Rambo. What's wrong with that? Good pick, Kyle. Thank you, Lice. I appreciate that. I'm nervous. My top 5 have all been picked. My top 5 easily would have been, in no particular order, ham, mashed potatoes, rolls, and then corn and macaroni.
Okay.
So all my top 5 are picked.
Oh no. Y'all, I have some that I like.
Oh, Rambo's
I'm
gonna
scared.
choke this draft. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
He knows. He so knows. I've got to see if there's anything else that I can't think of.
I know my next pick. So you go for it. You go for it. I know what I'm picking next. I think I might steal this draft. We'll see.
Hang on. Let's see.
Don't get ideas from people. You gotta think of this on your own, because I know my next pick easily.
Well, I mean, the 5th. Okay, only the 5th has to be dessert.
No, don't listen to chat about rules of the game. The rules of the game are there. You can pick any food.
Okay.
If you pick what I'm thinking of, I'm going to lose my mind. You've stolen. All 3 of your picks have been steals. All 3.
I have no idea what you're thinking of.
You say that, and then you're gonna say it.
Well, actually, I have a few possibilities, but it's probably not what I'm picking.
All right, make your pick. Make your pick.
So
I'm so nervous.
I'm gonna actually go with the dessert here.
I swear. Pick!
I'm gonna go. We have this at Thanksgiving every year. I don't know if y'all do, and that's okay. I'll take the fall for it. But we have chocolate cake every year. You know, like that Texas sheet cake or whatever with the chocolate on top? We have that every year. And it's fire.
Cram, that's a funny saying. Lies just texting both of them what to pick, so that it just makes me lose it. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. For a reason.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Rambo took an L on that one. I like chocolate cake as much as the next guy.
I probably did.
Not for a Thanksgiving foods.
It's not your typical Thanksgiving dessert.
I'm glad I finally didn't get my next pick sniped, because I literally was gonna pick rolls first, and then assumed you would pick turkey. The way I wanted this draft to go, you went first. But if I went first, I would have gone rolls, thought you were gonna get turkey, then I would have done ham, and then just rolled with the punches. If KyroCast doesn't come out with the best Thanksgiving dessert next, I'm unsubbing, unfollowing, unmodding myself. That's fine with me, because I knew exactly what pick I had in my head. I know exactly what it is. And if this is
Go
not what
for
you're
it.
thinking, I will be shocked. Easy pick. Easy
Go
pick.
for it.
If as far as Thanksgiving foods in my top 5, I gave you my top 5. This is easily number 6. It's all the main foods, but this is my favorite Thanksgiving dessert, without doubt. Pumpkin pie with the 8th overall pick. There's
Pumpkin
only
pie?
one pick left for each team. Thank you. Parameters, let's go.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah, boy. All right. We made a comeback. A little comeback there. Round 4 was good to us. 1 round left. What's wrong with pumpkin pie, Rambo? What's wrong with pumpkin pie?
Tastes like death. It is terrible.
L!
I hate pumpkin pie. It is so bad.
L.
Oh man.
I literally would be so happy with my list if I just picked ham over turkey. I just thought you hated it for some reason, and so I was trying to take it off your board. I'm so mad at myself. If I just picked ham, I would be rolling over you right now. Yes, I wouldn't have rolls or macaroni, but the rest of my list is so solid.
I don't want to be the guy that picks stuff he doesn't like just to win the draft. That's a jerk move.
All right, Rambo.
So
your final pick. How are you closing out your team? I eat ham at both, just because my family's always preferred ham. I'm a little bit unsure of what my 5th pick will be, honestly.
Let's see. I'm gonna... Man? This might cost me.
Rambo's about to fumble this draft.
Oh, no.
I don't know what S tier side you're thinking of, Pram. I feel like it might be something I don't really like that much. Because I know of more classic Thanksgiving sides that I just don't like that much. Why do you start with rolls, though? I probably would have, too, if I went first. If I went
Everybody
first,
loves rolls, Pramitus. You don't understand. For my entire life, you give me a whole package of Sister Schubert rolls, those things are gone.
I don't know if I would have picked rolls first, but it would have been at least second if it came to me.
Dude, if I'm sitting on a couch and somebody brings me like a whole deal full of rolls, I could eat them all. Exactly, Buendo. Rolls are universally accepted. You cannot dislike rolls. Oh man. Okay. This might be better if I'm very specific with this one. Specificity is important. Are y'all ready?
What's your final pick, Rambo?
This is gonna be so bad. I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna roll with. Let me finish. Let me finish this whole thing.
Rambo's going to fumble.
I'm gonna roll with green beans, not the skinny ones.
Ew! Oh no!
You have to eat the big ones, not the little ones. The little ones that are skinny and those are trash. You have to get the big green beans, and you have to put brown sugar.
Green beans.
You have to put brown sugar on there. You have to put Cavenders on there, and you got to put the just right amount of bacon. And let me tell you, KyroCast, you've had them. We had them at senior lunch in high school. They are incredible.
I hate green beans. Every form.
Give the green beans right here. That is my favorite thing in my hypothetical Thanksgiving meal. I just put it last because nobody likes them.
Wow. Well, people are going to have their own opinion. That's a fumble to me. Green beans are literally, if you ask me what my least favorite food on the planet is, something about green beans, I hate them. All forms. I'll eat any vegetable over green beans.
That's not the only way I like them, Pramitus, but that's my favorite way.
Gosh. Ooh, what do I pick 5th then?
Ooh.
This is tough, though.
Oh, man.
I do. Lice knows. I can't stand green beans.
Creamed corn. That was a terrible pick. Creamed corn is
It's
awful.
corn. It's corn in any
Corn
sense.
is like
corn is so
corn.
good. If you don't like corn, I don't know what to tell you.
I used to love corn. Now it's like, It's like Rambo. It's like you gave up.
Rambo's first 3 picks were so good, but he just fumbled in the 4th quarter. Okay.
Parametis, your green beans now sound bad.
I think I have this draft on lock. I would already have it on lock if I got ham over turkey. I'm so mad that I fumbled that. Turkey's still not a bad pick, though. And I have had turkey cooked well. That is the thing. Most turkey I have feels dry. But there have been years I've had turkey that's super freaking good. And that I'm not mad at that at all. So I'm not super mad about turkey, but I definitely prefer ham. Mashed potatoes, corn, pumpkin pie. So glad I have those. I could skip this pick and Rambo still lost.
Oh my god!
I gotta round out this team with something solid, though. Something solid. I gotta round it out.
Put the nail in the coffin.
I gotta put the nail in the coffin to solidify I won this. I really thought when I started with turkey and he had rolls and ham, I didn't think there was any coming back. But then he picked chocolate cake and green beans.
I didn't go with that.
I could say pizza and still win. Hey, Thanksgiving pizza goes hard, I bet.
What about that Subway Thanksgiving sandwich that they had that one year? Could he say that and still win?
No.
Because that stuff looks like bleh. That was bad.
What do I go with here?
He's looking up ideas.
Is that cheating? I guess it is cheating. I gotta come up with
You
myself.
told me not to.
All right,
I mean,
fine,
I
fine,
did,
fine.
and then you told me not to.
I won't look up. I don't know if I should just slide another dessert in there or what. Problem is, I don't like any of the other traditional Thanksgiving foods. Like, I don't like cranberries in any form. I don't like stuffing.
I don't either. I couldn't put stuffing on there. No way.
Yeah, he just said stuffing, cranberry sauce, all that. A lot of people like stuffing. I just don't like it that much. Pram, what was the S tier side you were thinking of? I feel like it was probably stuffing or something. Stuffing is great. I guess I haven't had it in a long time. Sweet potatoes. I guess I was thinking because I picked mashed potatoes, I couldn't pick potatoes. But yeah. Sweet potatoes I love. I would pick a sweet potato. I guess I was thinking mashed potatoes ruled that out.
You can't pick sweet potatoes after he told you.
I mean, I get that. So I won't.
You can't do that.
Sweet potatoes did cross my mind, though. I just thought with mashed potatoes I couldn't pick it. I won't pick it. All right, there's no point in dragging this out. Rambo, you lost anyway. Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Let's go.
Pumpkin pie just sucks.
Pumpkin pie is so good.
No, it's
not. So good. It's one of my absolute favorite desserts.
With or without the cream. Always bad.
Either way. It's great either way. Whipped cream makes it really good, and I still really like it without whipped cream. Yeah, I'm taking too long to make a pick here. I just can't think of anything else that's like, oh, I really like that.
Who doesn't love cream? Me.
Yeah, don't forget. Parametis timed out, Rambo. Don't forget Parametis' most recent quote he created. Pram, if you wouldn't mind to re-put that in chat for the class. All right. All right. I'm just going to lean towards a dessert. This might be an L pick. It probably is. I'm not really satisfied with this, but I'm going to say brownies. Just go another dessert. Is that too similar to chocolate cake? Does that not count?
Oh, I couldn't decide between which one of the two to pick.
Is that too similar? I can change it.
They're very similar to me.
Okay, I'll change it then. I'll just say cookies then. I'll say cookies. I'm not really happy with my fifth pick.
Cookies? Okay. If I lost at chocolate cake,
okay, well, I would say brownies first, but I thought brownies would be too similar. I'm saying brownies then. All right, I'm saying brownies. All right.
Bruh.
Brownies or cookies are a more appropriate Thanksgiving dessert. Thank you, Pram. I would have picked both of those over chocolate cake. All right.
So similar to me.
It's time for the final results.
This is lame.
Everyone get your votes in. Chocolate
Can
cake
we
is for
vote for
birthdays.
ourselves?
Sure.
Heck yeah. Oh, somebody voted for me. Ah, well, I've lost.
All right, who all has
Dang
voted?
it. Dang it. Yo,
Window, you picked
appreciate you, man.
Ram?
Let's go. My first 3 were sick. Actually, I think all 5 of them are sick, but it's universally accepted that the top 3 are sick.
So Lies was telling me a whole lot of pie. I thought about that too. Apple pie, pecan pie. Those would have been great picks as well. But I already picked pumpkin pie, so I didn't want to have another pie.
I don't really like any pie, to be honest with you, so I couldn't pick any. I'm not a pie person. So. Oh,
All right.
man.
It looks like four votes for me, 2 votes for Rambo. I think so. I know Parametis and Lance like my group, like my team because I have turkey over ham. But if I had ham over turkey, I think my list would be goated. Now, honestly, literally, if I could have my top 5, I honestly might leave macaroni out of it. Like if I had to eat 5 foods for Thanksgiving the rest of my life. Like I said, Rambo, your first 3 are amazing, but I had to go with Kyle. Nothing wrong with rolls and mac and cheese, but ham is not given to me.
I understand it. I respect it. But
whole list is good.
I didn't think cookies or brownies. I honestly thought chocolate cake was a little more original.
So if I could have only 5 foods for Thanksgiving the rest of my life, I would go. I'm not saying this is how I would have drafted, but I would say ham, mashed potatoes, rolls. I would say corn, then probably pumpkin pie, and then macaroni, honestly, for me. I love macaroni. But for Thanksgiving...
Pumpkin pie and corn on that list is whack.
It's not, though. It's not, though.
Let's see.
Zero vegetables? That's how I do it, baby. That's that KyroCast special right there.
What are...
That's that mature
So what's my
palate.
top 5? I want to see my top 5. We're actually pretty similar. I gotta have rolls and mashed potatoes on mine.
To be honest,
mashed potatoes.
Ham and mashed potatoes are easily my top 2. I could live without rolls if I had these 2. Rolls just makes it so much better, though. Then corn, then pumpkin pie. And then for me, it'd be mac and cheese after that.
I need to quit capping. If I'm being real, the green beans are my number 1 because the way we make them is just magical. But that's like a personal thing. That's why I put it at 5. So I'd go rolls, mashed potatoes, green beans, and I got to pick a meat. So I don't know. I guess I'll go ham because you kind of know what you're getting with ham. A turkey that's not dry is elite. But I'll go with ham. And then, shoot.
Perhaps says turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, corn, green beans. That would be my 5. It's a solid 5.
I guess we need, I guess I need a dessert, so I guess I'll roll with the brownies. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know, I thought the chocolate cake would be more.
Maybe thrown on the first 4 of them. That's funny. Lights, what do you think about this top 6? Are you rolling with that? What do you think?
Hot take, gravy is nasty. Wide one.
It's not nasty, but I prefer stuff without gravy. But I still like it with gravy.
Gravy's awful.
Lights, even what are you thinking of my top 6 Thanksgiving foods? Obviously, I love these top 6. This is the top 6. Why do you let Rambo have the mic? That's such a great question. It's not a hot take, it's lava. Wait, are you talking about gravy? Is it the gravy take that he's talking about? Is that what he's talking about? Oh,
I think
yeah.
So.
Gravy is not terrible, but I prefer stuff without it typically. But I'm not gonna say it's bad. I will definitely eat stuff with gravy on.
I even eat like a chicken fried steak without gravy. And for all the northerners in chat, it's technically country fried steak. We call it chicken fried steak down here.
Do we? Is that what we say?
Or at least I do. I don't know about you.
Rambo's
maybe you're
southern
fraud,
accent is quite a bit thicker than mine.
Well, yeah, I
I
was
agree with
kind of
everything
role
except
playing
pumpkin
there.
pie. I didn't realize you didn't like pumpkin pie, Lice. That's an L. Might have
Pumpkin
to
pie
rethink this
is
whole situation now.
pumpkin pie is so trash. It is
Shut up,
awful,
Rambo.
and it's so big too. When you take a bite, the bite has to be huge. Like it's just, boo.
Rambo, what are you talking about, dog?
If I had to eat any type of pie for Thanksgiving, it would have to be a chocolate pie.
Apple pie is
But
goated. All right, now we're talking about pies. All right, if we're talking about pies, if I had to rate the way you all talk about food, it'd probably be Lice, KyroCast, Lance. Would have been higher if you didn't agree with pineapple on pizza. Window Rambo. Good, Ram. Last place. That's what I'm talking about. Let me be clear, by the way. I do not dislike turkey. I just definitely prefer ham. But I do not mind turkey one bit. Yeah, Lance, liking pineapple on pizza is super unbased. Now that we're talking about pie, though, if we're talking about pies, chocolate pie I feel like is too easy to say is your favorite. Chocolate
well,
pie is just, it's chocolate pie. You
you see
know?
the predicament I was in?
But,
See?
me, it's probably pumpkin pie, chocolate pie. I really like apple pie. Really, these are the only 3 pies I even care about. I mean, I say that. I mean, I'll eat like a coconut cream pie. I'm telling you, bro, something about the cream, it just... Them cream... I'm sorry, I can't do it. I was gonna make a cream pie joke.
Gosh.
I'm sorry, I can't. Still pie, it can still be a favorite. Yes, but... I don't know. Everyone loves cream. Yes, please refer to quote 39. Never forget how I feel about cream. It is low-hanging fruit. But yeah. If I'm eating a pie... What in the world is going on? I'm eating a pie.
Parametus lemon.
It's probably these top 3.
Parametus lemon is disgusting. Lemon is just awful. If it has lemon in it, you've lost me. I can drink lemonade, like, I can drink 1 sip of lemonade every, like, 5 years.
Wow. That's not based at all. Actually, really L take.
Lemon is so bad, dude.
Alright, gamers. This is fun. That was a fun draft. We should do more drafts like that for random things. That was a fun setup.
Ooh.
We are gonna head out there. Thank you so much to everyone stopping by. Pram, Window, Lice. I appreciate y'all popping in as well. Lance, of course.
That was it.
You guys are awesome. Yeah, that was a fun draft. I really thought I was hosed after the first couple. Yeah, we could do it by, like, style of video game. Is cheesecake cake or pie? I'd say cake.
Ooh.
But grab your raid message, and I'll catch y'all later. Thank y'all so much. Y'all can see some of this content clipped out on the Kyro Sports channel. Peace!